Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, the Blitz.
It is the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. On the go at ESPNSA.com, wherever you are. Thanks for dialing us in. He's Jason Minix. I am Rob Thompson. Celebrating all things Charlie Brown in the sports world. Yeah, that's right. We have the football picked up in front of us. Often do, but we get up and do it again. That's Dan Bailey's credo, right?
What do you have behind you? I mean, you've added slowly to your Christmas decorations on your set as the week has gone on. And I don't even know that it's fair to call that a Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
After railing Jill yesterday.
Well, mine's taller. Mine's bigger.
I mean, size doesn't matter here.
That's not what I've been told.
I'm just saying, I mean, you know, what is going on there?
If you go to ESPNSA.com, you can watch the live broadcast. The O'Reilly Auto Parts mobile studios are built with cameras. As we sit inside, you'll see my lovely kitschy aluminum foil Christmas tree. It's, it's not very well designed. And this was actually an outside decoration that I found halfway down my lawn this morning as I went out to take the dogs. It had blown down the hill. So we brought it in, and as the show was getting started, I thought, what a lovely piece to put as a background. And I thought I'd grace you guys with a little bit of Christmas spirit.
Lovely.
So if you want to make fun of it, go ahead. But, let me say a little prayer against you, and we'll carry on. We've got 3 hours of sports coming your way. Spurs, in a valiant effort, go down to the Fat Hardens, and we'll hear from everybody involved with the game. And while there was an L on the scoreboard, I do think there was a W to be found inside of that. I thought there were pieces that we're going to see on a very regular basis. There are other parts that I don't like seeing, but at the end of the day, the Spurs did lose. But they got one game better, I would say.
I mean, that was a good game until the fourth quarter. I mean, in reality, I mean, for 3 quarters, that was pretty good basketball for being a preseason game. And yes, the Fat Harden jokes were there, but certainly some differences of this Spurs team that I think it's going to take us a while to get used to what to expect out of a Greg Popovich coach team, with the importance of the three-pointer in Greg Popovich's mind, just like it's always been.
We'll see. There are some mixed messages coming out of the locker room. Nothing too negative, but you hear one thing from the players and others from the coaches. I wonder who's playing possum. We'll get to the bottom of it. We're going to hear from Lonnie and Devin Vassell, our super rookie, and Coach Popovich through the show. So you certainly want to hang around. We'll start talking Spurs in about 15 minutes. The college football playoff rankings, the final one essentially before the decisions are going to be made, came out last night, and it all held chalk. Though Iowa State with a bullet rises to 6 above some undefeated teams. But we'll look into that. And also the National Signing Day is happening today. And it used to be National Signing Day was set aside, what is it, like the first Wednesday in February? Wasn't that always the day that we looked forward to? And they've spread it out. There's one now. There was one earlier. There'll be another one. And then they'll have another one. But we'll give you the current rankings as they sit, because today was the first chance to offer your NLI. To say where you're going to go to school, though there are many other opportunities between now and the time we actually figure out what the class of 2021 looks like for all these schools.
It's important. I mean, this is a huge day, especially for those that are going to go play in the spring semester. If they're going to not go play, but, graduate high school early and move on into college. And, to a lot, this is really big for the 3 stars, the 2 stars, let a lot of the 5 stars, okay, these programs know what they have officially. Now, if they've lost somebody, now they can start looking at a 3 or a 4, or if you're a team like UTSA, who looks like they did really well, including 3 kids from San Antonio, you get those officially on the books, and now they can start recruiting their friends. There's others that are big time that want all the attention. They're going to wait. It's not like you have the All-American Bowl in San Antonio where they'll tell the school, hey, I'm coming. send the swag, but I'm going to do it on national TV during the All-American Bowl in San Antonio. See, and that's out this week. So, I think those that are open for recruiting didn't sign today. Those that are still open, they put their name on a piece of paper.
Not a good day for Texas, though, again, there's still a lot of time to move on. TCU seems to have
How many good days does Texas have right
now?
Well, let's be honest.
Recruiting is, what is it called? The fruit of the vine. The fruit of the vine is the team, and the fruit that you're growing with is the recruits. And you got coach, and was twisted in the wind. I don't think the Texans fan expected a lot. They're still a good brand there, and they're still going to pull their share of 4 and 5s. But look for the bottom part of that top 20, I think. And TCU has actually had a good day, too. A&M hanging at 13, but again, the results are not in. We are still counting the absentee votes, and we will question them as we move along until those kids actually show up on campus. We're excited today. At 5:15, a world-renowned comedian, a comedian of note that I have seen on the NFL Network, that I have seen on specials there at Netflix and on the YouTubes. Paul Virzi is going to join us, a comedian. I think the best line I've seen from all of him, he is a kind of a New York City-based comedian. He's got a face that looks like he should have pizza flour on his shirt.
Oh, you're stealing one of his jokes, man.
Oh, that's what I said. That's the best joke I've heard from him offer. He's going to join us. We're going to talk some sports, and he's going to be at the LOL all weekend long. Lots of shows. We're giving away tickets. I'll tell you what, we'll give away a pair of tickets to go see Paul Virzi here in about 30 minutes. We'll have another set to give away as well when he joins us a little bit after 5:15. We're adjusting our schedule. We are going to have – well, no, we're not adjusting. We're doing the pork rinds today. It's Wednesday. I was thinking we would move stuff back because we're going to be out early on Thursday. But we're going to grill with we're going to cook with some Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds today. This has become just about my favorite segment of the week, Jason, because I learned something new. I get to talk with a great guy, and Mark Singleton, and we get to reference one of our favorite things, and that's eating healthy and eating great with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds that can be used in a variety of interesting ways. It's called it's upselling, it's upmarketing something that you think is so basic as a pork rind, and the things that you can do and the phenomenal food that you can offer your friends and family. Pretty incredible. So you're going to make sure you want to be near a device a little after 6 o'clock as Mark joins us and we find another of Tim's fantastic award-winning recipes that go directly with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. And by the way, since we're talking about it, Grilling with the Blitz is tomorrow. Upload your pictures, man. You want a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market? Show us what you got. It's awfully easy to do. Go to ESPNSA.com. You'll see the Tri-County contest there. Click there. Upload a picture. It helps. Presentation certainly plays a role in the winning, and a recipe always helps as well. You get them up there tomorrow a little bit after 6 o'clock, Jason. I'll give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market that could be applied to those prime ribs or tenderloins that you might be thinking about reserving over at Tri-County for your fine Christmas meal.
What are you gonna? Are you trying to figure out what you're gonna do for your Christmas dinner? Because I know, there's been some talk about turkey. I really do think I want to go with one of the big tomahawks for Christmas dinner. I think that's what I'm gonna do this year.
I'm gonna be up in my in-laws' home over Thanksgiving. Christmas, and they do have a grill. It's not oft used, but it's one of those gas grills attached to the house. It's been a while since it's gotten a full cleaning. But if I have the time, I fully intend on spending Christmas over the fire. But we'll wait and see. But certainly as soon as I get back, I'm going to do a whole pig. I got my pig reserved over at Tri-County. It'll be a Thompson family tradition rekindled on the 27th as we get a big old 45-pound pig, flail it out, and cook it all day long and, dine on our merits at the end of the day. But get your pictures up. Get your pictures up. We can't wait to see them. We can't wait to give away the $50 gift card. We've got a lot to talk about with the Cowboys, too. If you're concerned about the defense and the manpower available to those defensive backs, good news is on the way. IR has spit out a couple of players that will be available to the Cowboys this weekend on the corners. There's also good news for the 49ers. They get themselves a Kittle back. We'll look at the Dallas Cowboys as they head toward a noon game, a flex game on Sunday with the Cowboys taking on the 49ers. And both teams appear to be rounding into health. It could be a really good game between two teams that are headed in the same direction, quite frankly.
Somebody help me out. Isn't this game on CBS?
I don't know.
I think it's one of those weird NFC games that are going to be on CBS after they flex stuff out. which means if you're like me and have DirecTV, or if you have AT&T and UVerse, you don't get the local CBS affiliate.
Okay, you know what, Jason? You've
Is
been
your
very
trial
helpful.
ending?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Let's talk about the predicament that the Blitz is in. Because as people begin cutting cords and the cost of play-by-play increases and all the things that go along with contracts with streaming and satellite and cable providers, you have opportunities like this or instances like this, like Ken's 5 has been taken off the DirecTV broadcasts here in San Antonio. I myself have been a Dish customer in the past, and I lost Fox Sports Southwest along with HBO years ago, and they still have never come back. Fox Sports Southwest is a very difficult prospect to find on the streaming services. If someone has the best way for me to watch Fox Sports Southwest, and when I say best way, the cheapest possible, through my streaming services, please reach out on our Kielbasa Bacon phone lines. Crack streams, I don't know if that's legal or not. I don't know if I should be talking about it. That's too much of a hassle to try to dig into a game. I'm willing to pay. I just don't know how to watch the Spurs on the regular if I'm a Dish customer. I think it applies the same for those that are Ken's customers. Who knows when they'll be back with DirecTV.
Is it still going on with Dish and Fox Southwest?
Yeah, it's long. Yeah, this fight has never ended. And HBO went away damn near 2 years ago. So I'm giving up hope.
Both sides blame the other, and the customer is the one that loses. Now, I signed up to watch the Army-Navy game on Saturday. I use Fubo TV, 7-day free trial. It expired, but that's like $55 a month. Hulu Live is the same thing, and I'm starting to go, okay, well, between my Netflix and all the Amazon Prime and all the other stuff that I'm already paying for, you get a couple of these services, and not one of them has everything that I want, right? Not one of them is a good mirror of DirecTV. So now I got to get three of them. Now I'm spending more because of the bundle price with the internet. If I got rid of DirecTV and just went straight internet, my internet price goes up, right? So, I mean, you're really screwed in this deal, although I don't think I can sign up for another free trial for this weekend, right?
I think
use your
you could
wife's
probably
email.
Yeah, you use your wife's email, use your daughter's email.
There's something
there's an
about
ISP issue.
Yeah, there's things with your TV that's going to keep you from doing that because, I was going to go over to Hulu TV and all of a sudden, last week when they were offering a free trial, this week that little offer appears to be gone. It's like they know I went somewhere else. They know I chose somebody else first. Now they're saying, you want us now? You're going to have to pay for it.
Jason, you deal in this realm, this digital world that knows where we are and everything we want and desire, even in our deepest realms. Does it surprise you that they knew?
No.
No, it's quite frankly horrifying.
It doesn't. I don't know if they knew that I actually went somewhere else or because I was there and then, 7 days later I'm back hunting around again. They know that I went somewhere else. But, they know. I mean, your phone knows more about you than you do.
This is what happened to me last night. I'm so proud of the gift that I tracked down for my lovely wife. And I went and bought it online, like I did and all that. But as you go through and everybody sits in the evening or sits around and you're looking at your phone like, oh, look at this picture of the puppies. Those are really cute. And you hand it over and everybody looks at it. Well, something happened and I wanted to show my wife something that I had seen on my particular social feed. And as I handed it to her, the ad for what I bought popped up right then. So,
well, of course. They knew she was looking.
Right. So, literally at the moment, it was like, let's give this away. Here you go. So take a look at the picture and what you're getting for Christmas right here all together. Because it was so random to be on my feed. It would have been a dead giveaway. Like, why is that on your Facebook feed?
You were searching certain things.
Well, the thing is, they advertised the item that I bought. Don't do that. Give me something else. If you're going to advertise to me, find something new and exciting because I've already got that. They need to kind of correspond with what the message is that they're sending me.
The problem with that digital advertising, with that tracking that you're doing is, you multiple places have it. So you were looking for this particular item. A lot of places have that item. So now they're serving the ads. They don't know that you've already purchased it from somebody else. Hopefully, they weren't wasting impressions on you if it was the place who actually bought it from.
It was. It was literally the place and the website. But we got a lot of help coming into us on our ESPN San Antonio Facebook feed regarding how, for those of us that are cably challenged, uncableized, how we can find the Spurs. Michael Menace, of course, you know him from the Fantasy Gods, and Rock the Mic chat says 701 and 702 on DirecTV show 4 to 6 games boxed. Now, are we talking about NFL games boxed, Michael?
Yeah,
I mean,
because as a DirecTV type, the 700s are 703 as your red zone channel, and then all the individual games that you want. But like if I wanted to watch Cowboys 49ers, I go to that channel. That's probably going to be like 710. It will be blocked out in the San Antonio area, even though they know I'm in a pissing match right now with my local CBS affiliate. You think that DirecTV would try to help me out? Well, no. If you go in the box, the picture-in-picture version, where basically it looks like you're sitting up at a sports bar and you got 4 different games on one big screen. Okay. I'm not a fan of that because it's there. But if you say you've got an 80-inch TV, you're only getting 33 inches of your football, but at least you can get the audio of that game. Otherwise, you got to wait till they do something good and Andrew Siciliano clues you in, and you get a couple minutes a game.
Or my other dude, who just, by the way, I believe re-signed. To pull that up now, Rob Martin, this is for me. So Sling is $30 a month, and if I wanted the Spurs League Pass, I got to pay another $20 a month. So it's $50 a month for me to watch the Spurs?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What if there's a write-off in there? Rob, I don't even know what that means. I don't know how to go incognito
tab on
Google. If you're trying to follow along, you can do so at ESPNSA.com. If you want to watch us live, you can do it there, or go to our Facebook. You can go to our Facebook feed where we send out the call. If you're a CBS fan, and this Cowboy game appears to be landing on CBS at noon on Sunday, and you're a DirecTV user, obviously you can't watch Ken's there. How would we watch that? And there's lots of ways to tell us. You can jump on the Kielbasa Bacon phone line, 656-3776-656-ESPN, or use the myriad of ways to contact us, including on Twitter, at Jason Minix, at Rob Thompson ESPN, or at I Am Pledger. Or you can just, talk like this. Who do we got on the line, James?
Andre,
welcome aboard, bro. You're on the Blitz.
Hey, man. What's up, man?
I'm here. So go to CBS All Access. You get it free for a week.
CBS All Access. Now,
and that's for the Cowboy game on Sunday.
There you go.
Will it be live, or do I gotta wait a full day? Because
it'll be live.
Because I know when I go to live. 1,002, it gives you all the CBS stuff that you might have missed, but it's a day old. CBS All Access.
We're up against it. CBS All Access is one avenue. I am still desperately searching for a cost-effective way to watch my San Antonio Spurs via a streaming product. If you have an idea,
$50 a month doesn't cut it for you.
$50 a month. I might as well just, buy tickets. Shoot, that's a little steep. I'm telling you, that is high for. Because other folks getting it free.
Well, and keep in mind, you're still paying your DirecTV or your Dish Network bill. You're paying. It's not like you've cut everything and now you're trying to build it up. I mean, and that's part of it. CBS All Access.
It gives you live events plus the ability to go back and watch the catalog of any show that CBS gives you. So you get the live version
that's
plus
like
the archive
NCIS.
version.
You could watch 8 years worth of NCIS. Every one of them.
Every version of NCIS.
It's all on Netflix. I mean, but, it's there.
Yeah, all I need is a bunch of CBS products. Hey, when we come back, let's talk Spurs. They go down in Houston. We all know that most CBS products are made for people roughly 75. So, they get a chance to go eat early and get home, catch their show at 6:30 and go to bed by 8, but 7 o'clock.
So this is my mother who watches Blue Bloods. My mom watches Judge Judy and Blue Bloods every night.
Is that the one with Tom Selleck?
Yes.
He's a handsome devil. Coming back, Spurs lose, though there was some opportunity there. Welcome to the season, Lonnie Walker. And don't forget, we're talking college football. And great comedians joining us at 5:15, Paul Virzi. We're giving away tickets to his show coming up at LOL this weekend, Fridays and Saturday. Hold on tight. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. We're your home for the holidays.
You heard Rob earlier talking about doing a full pig for his Christmas dinner. I'm going to do a big old tomahawk steak. You know where you're getting that great meat? Tri-County Meat Market. It is the best meat market in San Antonio, locally owned, full service. They've carefully selected their certified prime Angus beef cuts, Wagyu, and upper choice. They have everything you need to up your grilling game: beef, chicken, pork, fajitas, poppers, and more.
Stock up and fill up not only your fridge, but your counter space. 5 for $25. When you walk in, there are specials every week that they set aside for you. But one ongoing thing is your 5 for $25. That includes your meats. There's lots of vegetables involved with that. You can literally find enough to cook a meal most nights from your 5 for $25. Not to mention those specials and all the great advice and guidance you get from butchers who know the meat that they're selling. That's the great thing about going to a meat purveyor like Tri-County Meat Market, is the experts on the other side of the counter. So if you see one of those beautiful tomahawk steaks, or you see a ribeye and you want to try it but you're just not sure, ask an expert, a man that understands the meat. And if you're a first responder when you walk into Tri-County, of course you're going to get a 10% discount, and of course that qualifies military, first responders, police, firemen, and EMTs. Go ahead, by both of their locations. They are eager to help and ready to serve over on Ralph Fair Road in Heavener. Try out their website, tricountymeat.com.
Breakfast with the Blitz every Friday morning at 7:30. Join the Blitz as they talk to Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Breakfast with the Blitz every Friday morning at 7:30. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Santa's Little Helpers are making their way from the North Pole to Twin Peaks. Head down to the Twin Peaks Lodge December 20th through the 24th for their costume party and drink specials that would bring anyone the holiday cheer. And this Saturday, Twin Peaks has your front row view to Canelo versus Smith. Visit your lodge this Saturday, order a cold 29-degree draft beer, and watch as Canelo Alvarez goes head-to-head in the ring against Callum Smith for the middleweight title. It's a fight you don't want to miss. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
You know, nobody plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. Whether it's you, a friend of yours, a family member, somebody you know gets arrested, and, you know, it happens a lot this time of year. It happens to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. You want to call AA Best Bail Bonds. Call my good friend Albert and his great staff there, and they will get you out fast. 210-225-2121 is the phone number, or go to the website, mybestbailbonds.com. You can even start the bonding process there online. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail. You don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option, AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, offer a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential, and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Whether you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, in the Valley, anywhere in between, and of course here in San Antonio, 210-225-2121, or online, mybestbailbonds.com.
Ho, 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 Santa here for Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters. It's the season of giving, and there is no better gift than a high-performance window tint, remote start car alarm, or car stereo from Mother's Window Tint. I have all three on my 1959 fully restored pickup truck. Ho, 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 I know what you're thinking. I only use the sled and reindeer one day a year. Mother's Window Tint stops more heat and more glare than any other film. You can protect your family with a remote start car alarm like I did. And if you want to make your car go thump, 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 Mother Thump, do like Mrs. Claus did. She went to Mother's Window Tint too. Prices are marked down. Safety precautions in place. Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters. Remember, do it at Mother's and save. Ho, ho, ho!
Hello, everybody. You're looking live at Fansville, a college football utopia.
Fansville.
Where the rivers flow with ice-cold Dr. Pepper.
Delicious.
Where every day is Saturday and everyone's a fan, even babies.
Fan babies.
And the seasons never change because the only season is college football season. Get a taste of Fansville this fall during a college football game near you. Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville. Grab some today.
Dear, it's 1908. Don't you think we should get electricity?
And stop using candles to see at night.
It's just electricity lights up the room fast. It's more reliable than candles blowing out, and people seem to love it nationwide.
Well, candles are...
Dear, did you just run into the wall?
Nope. May I have a new candle, please?
Historically, switching to new technology is a no-brainer. Today, it's AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure, and nationwide. Switch to AT&T 5G. It's not complicated. 5G requires compatible plan. May not be in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
It is the Blitz. Welcome on to ESPN San Antonio. Hope your week's been great. You're halfway home. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. The Blitz is always brought to you by the Thompson Law Firm. Jason Thompson, been in practice here since 1994, a winning attorney, a San Antonio attorney. When you hire Jason Thompson is your lawyer, not some other associate. The number you need is 210-900-0400. His website is alawyer4us.com. Spurs go down last night. It's preseason. Scores don't matter, but you always want to win. They lose 112-98, though that wasn't the intent last night. It becomes more and more apparent. We talk about preseason, and we still have to get out of those misperceptions of this long, drawn-out preseason, the opportunity to tweak and do that. We have 4 preseason games. They're playing in a week. The regular season starts next week. Devin Vassal's had 2 games and 3 practices. So what we're seeing is really a practice being televised. I mean, that's really what it is. So knowing that, but you're going to Houston. You're playing James Harden, who's making his unveiling with a brand-new, bigger uniform. And I'll tell you this, Jason. You can divide the game into 2 halves, a first half and a second half, I think. And in the first half, what was your takeaway from the starters that we saw and the game plan that they executed rather well?
I thought, first off, are we going to talk about James Harden being fat or DeMar DeRozan's afro? Because I think, you play like that, you got to keep the hair up. I thought DeMar played really well.
Coffee black.
There was a lot going on there.
Tropic Thunder. The tropics. The Flint Tropics. That was coffee black, man. I saw that in a Spurs uniform years ago. He traded teams halfway through the game.
Well,
he went back.
But overall, I thought the Spurs were a lot more competitive last night than they were obviously in the first game, and they looked like they were a much more organized group. And obvious emphasis on defense and threes. I know Sean Elliott pointed it out many times that, the Spurs, welcome to the NBA in 2020 when you're running a fast break and everybody runs to a specific spot on the floor for a 3. Nobody was going in the lane. Nobody was looking for an easy layup. They were just flat out, this is the new offense. And more so than maybe the first game against Oklahoma City, I felt like that's what we're gonna see a lot of during the regular season.
To start the game, Lonnie Walker was aggressive, to say the least, and accurate. Pop's thoughts on Lonnie post-game, it's about what we needed to hear.
He was very aggressive attacking the bucket, and in the second half, did a good job of staying in front of his man, playing some pretty good individual defense.
Yeah, good individual defense, and again, it's the Rockets for 3 quarters last night. That was a good basketball game that I think the Spurs were capable of winning, but you saw what was on the floor in the fourth quarter, and obviously they're not going to win with that group on the floor.
Lonnie Walker leads the team in scoring, 6 of 11 from the field, hits 3 of 7 from 3. 2 free throws made. That's part of this new offense is you're not going to see a lot of free throws if you're taking threes. They just don't happen as much. And first of all, we needed to see Lonnie do exactly that. Though it wasn't the way that I thought that he would perform because it was not a distributing Lonnie. This was an aggressive, offensive-minded Lonnie who, when the shot was available to him, he took it, and he looked very aggressive doing it. And he improved on defense as the day went on. But, you can see why Pop gets so frustrated with him. His get-back defense, he gets a little turned around at times. He doesn't play defense backing up very well. And when the Spurs are in that kind of running game, he kind of gets twisted, and I think that's very frustrating. But as we saw last night, if Pop can just, swallow the whistle, not call the timeout, not sit him down, he will work through it. And, the one thing that'll keep you on the court with Pop is playing great defense. And Lonnie improved over the game. The offense started it. And then, of course, the rookie,
Yeah.
Devin Vassell is starting to really make an impression. Those starting minutes, you feel like there's going to be more and more of those in the future. Keldon, you better get well, man. You better get healthy. There's somebody trying to take your spot.
You know, it's interesting when I think about Devin, and it's almost like what we saw with Lonnie, different reasons, obviously. With Lonnie in his rookie year, was like, let him go play. I want to see the athleticism. Devin, 2 preseason games. I'm high on Devin. I mean, I'm buying whatever he's selling, and it's, you know, it's the Spurs. He's a rookie. You know, you should temper your expectations, but it's hard not to. I mean, what did he play? 32 minutes last night? He was out there. You know, obviously he's got some things that, you know, he's going to have to figure out being a rookie, but I really like what the Spurs have in Vassell and Pop. I think he does too.
Well, he really takes pride in playing at both ends of the floor. I think he understands the game really well. He thinks ahead, and he obviously paid attention to Coach Leonard at Florida State because that program is all about playing great D, and he obviously listened to his coach.
Yeah, go figure. Pop goes shopping for a player from a program that's all about defense. Yeah, of course.
Oh, he's worked with Hamilton for years with Team USA. That's not a surprise at all. But there is an innateness to his game. You know, Manu had an innateness, a feel for the game offensively, the likes of which I don't think anybody had ever seen before. You know, he did things that you just didn't expect on the offensive side. A lot of risk-taking there. The other side of that coin is defensive awareness that you're just kind of born with. I think Bruce Bowen had it and kind of, learned to expand on it through Pop's guidance. Devin Vassell was born with it. This guy just understands passing lanes, and he is so ridiculously long that his hands in the lanes, his arms in the lanes, it messes guys up, and he's good backing up. He's a pretty good on-ball defender. Now, he got a little taste of James Harden, but I'll tell you, when he did, Harden, while he's out of shape, is still James Harden, had to settle for a couple of crossover fadeaway threes, which, he does manage to hit a fair amount of those, but if you're going to choose your druthers, there was no foul, and he took the shot from 30 feet away. If you grab the rebound, if it comes off, your fast break is starting. I think that's a win when you're dealing with Harden. So I think that Devin is going to play far more minutes, and he's going to score more points, but it's not about the points with him. It's about the defense that he offers and the rebounding ability that he offers.
I want to give Michael Jimenez, our former Rock the Mic champ, host of the Fantasy Guys. He tweeted out something last night that I thought was pretty good. Got me thinking about Devin after watching him play a lot last night. He tweeted basically he's 50% Bruce Bowen, 30% Sean Elliott, and 20% prime Danny Green. And I thought that was a pretty good mix if you're trying to describe his game. That was fairly accurate because I was trying to think who else could be in that mix that wore Spurs uniforms of who he reminds you of. And if he could be a 50% Bruce, 30% Sean, and 20% of prime Danny Green, mainly the 20% that made threes, the hot part of the icy hot nickname that he used to have here, you'll have a long time all-NBA player in that kid.
It's interesting you bring that up. I can't think of a player that he truly reminds me of as a former Spur. The athleticism that he brings.
It's not like you can say, yeah, he's that version of this guy. And that's why I like the mix that Michael Jimenez put out on Twitter last night because, yeah, he's not just one, but he is a combination of a couple really good ones.
He's a glue guy that you can certainly feel getting better by the minute because he's having to learn as the clock is ticking. The Spurs get going in just a couple of weeks, 2 preseason games in the book, 2 losses, but I think we can all agree that we saw significant improvement. We're going to hear further from Devin and from Lonnie later on in the show as we look further with the Spurs. One last thing that, I see Pop, and you can see his mindset. These guys are so much alike when you've got all these the dudes all look and play alike with from DeJounte to Lonnie. They're all the same essential guy. I remember going against teams where the coach would literally always have a guy ready to go in because it didn't matter who he was sending him in for because the guy he was replacing was just like him.
Yeah.
So, you look at what this offense can be and the defense can be with fresh bodies where they're able to have a bunch of guys play about 25 minutes a game. A lot of them cycle through and stay fresh. You can feel the defensive pressure is going to be key to this offense as long as that defensive pressure is applied appropriately, or you're going to give a lot of fast breaks. And we saw both sides of that coin, I think, last night. Hey, coming back, the college football Final Four stays in place. 1 through 4 is, in fact, chalk. Number 5 is the same as well. Aggies still looking in. Iowa State on the rise. Well done, Cyclones and quarterback Brock Purdy. We'll look at the college football Final Four and also National Signing Day. It's dreams fulfilled in college sports coming up next. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio. We are your home for the holidays.
Jason Minix here for New Brakes. NUBrakes.com is the website to go if you're having issues with your brakes. Even if you think you're having issues with your brakes or they're going bad, get them fixed. Do us all a favor and get your brakes fixed. And New Brakes has made it easy, convenient, and affordable because they will come to you to fix your brakes. They're a mobile brake shop. They'll come to your home. They'll come to your office. They'll fix your brakes. Takes about an hour in most cases to get your repair done. So you continue to do what you're doing. If you're at work, you work. If you're doing, something casual, barbecuing in the back, watching a game, online shopping, doesn't matter. It takes about an hour. They're going to fix your brakes, and they only fix brakes at New Brakes. They back all repairs with a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty. They can do that because they only use premium brake parts. It's so much more convenient than dealing with the hassle of going to a shop, leaving your car there and going to get it or waiting at the shop for a couple hours. Get your brakes fixed if you think they're going bad at NUBrakes.com, NUBrakes.com. Schedule your repair, save 10% when you mention my name or ESPN San Antonio. Get your brakes fixed, NUBrakes.com, NUBrakes.com.
ESPN San Antonio wants to pay for your home in 2021. ESPN San Antonio's Home for the Holidays contest. Entry and details at ESPNSA.com. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
If you were hurt in an accident, Thomas J. Henry can help. Let us help you get a rental car, make your medical appointments, and even advance money on qualifying cases. If you've been hurt, start your claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio, San Antonio, Texas.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops this holiday season for the hottest gifts from Bushnell Golf. Featuring the Tour V5 and Tour V5 Shift rangefinders, featuring Pin Seeker with visual jolt and bike magnetic cart mount, and featuring this season's #1 gift from Bushnell, the Wingman, the world's first Bluetooth speaker with audible GPS distances. Come into Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get your Bushnell today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, your holiday headquarters since 1968, and shop online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
It's been a hell of a year, San Antonio. I'm Chip Ingram, and my bars, the Brew Pub and Angry Elephant, have been closed more than they've been open, and I didn't see that coming. Fortunately, things are getting better. 281 North is open, and football is finally here. Our kitchen is open every day till 2 a.m., and we open for happy hour at 11 a.m. And as our customers say, our food is pretty darn good. So this is me asking you to help a local guy and his staff get back on our feet. Come see us at the Brew Pub and Angry Elephant at 281 North and Redland Road.
When you needed your mom, she was always there with the Vicks Vapor Rub. She used that soothing scent to calm you. And her mom used it to calm her. And her mom, well, you get the idea. Vicks Vapor Rub's always been there. It always made you feel better. And today, it still does. Bring back those childhood memories with the comfort and care only Vicks Vapor Rub can bring. Vicks Vapor Rub, family tradition for a reason.
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app. Discover and enjoy your favorite music, news, and talk radio from live stations across the country. Listen anywhere on all mobile and home devices with the radio.com app.
Dear, it's 1908. Don't you think we should get electricity?
And stop using candles to see at night.
It's just electricity lights up the room fast. It's more reliable than candles blowing out, and people seem to love it nationwide.
Well, candles are...
Dear, did you just run into the wall?
Nope. May I have a new candle, please?
Historically, switching to new technology is a no-brainer. Today, it's AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure, and nationwide. Switch to AT&T 5G. It's not complicated. 5G requires compatible plan. May not be in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
It is the Blitz. You're on ESPN San Antonio. It appears up there on the 40 acres, Tom Herman is giving a triumphant press conference as he will be around for yet another year in Austin. But the news coming out of there is it's a little confusing. Is he leaving?
No. It sounds like Sam Ehlinger is leaving. Correct?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Is Ehlinger leaving?
Yeah. Tom Herman didn't want to talk about Chris Del Conte's statement today is about the players. He did say, and I'm bearing the lead here because it's going to take over this segment, that they can't imagine the players wanting to skip a bowl game. They're excited to get out of the COVID protocols and get back and lift. But he went on to say they're going to miss a handful of players who have already opted out, and we will miss Sam Ehlinger. As Bob Ballou of KI Sports, who's a frequent guest on this show, tweeted out, Sam's decision made, ? Why does Tom Herman say that? If I'm Tom Herman, I'm giving Sam Ehlinger everything he wants for the free year of eligibility that he has. I don't give a damn that he's already committed to the Senior Bowl and some of the other stuff. He has the option to come back for one more year if he wants it. And, a lot of hope from Longhorn types that he'd want to put himself through this mess one more time. But, and I think a lot of it was whether or not Tom Herman was going to stay. And there were some that speculated that when Urban Meyer said no, that one of the reasons Tom kept his job is maybe Sam was going to stick around for another year and help his coach out. Sam is a far better lifetime Longhorn to go out the way it's played out for him in his career. And, I do find it interesting that even Sam apparently is bailing on Tom Herman, let alone all the big name recruits that Tom Herman should be championing today as new members of the Longhorns. Instead, he'll tell you he had a good day, but we all know he didn't have the day he was expecting to have. But I think the big news is, based on what Tom Herman said that we're seeing on Twitter, Sam is done as a Longhorn.
Do you foresee a grad transfer in his future? I think he can play on Sunday. I do think that if the Alliance League or the XFL or whatever league was out there, I think the question would already been answered for him. But because he doesn't have that, I don't know how much one more year in college would help his stock. I think he is what he is. I do believe he's worthy of a practice squad spot that can play in the NFL, given what we've seen from the newer quarterbacks and their capabilities. There's a place for him. If Taysom Hill could be successful in the NFL, certainly there's a place for Ehlinger. Now, it has to be perfect, but I do think that he could exist. But a very strange scenario here. You wonder what side of the fence he was on with Herman, because leaving him now kind of gives me an idea.
I mean, we know that Sam is everything Longhorn, right? I mean, he was born into it and has loved everything about being the UT quarterback, and he has done everything the way that UT wants it done, not necessarily the way all his teammates wanted it done. And go back to him doing the Eyes of Texas alone after a 4 overtime loss to Oklahoma up there in the Cotton Bowl. You know, after their last game, he was very non-committal on whether or not he wanted to come back. But with that extra year of eligibility, a lot of people thought that he did not want his Longhorn career to end the way it has to this point, and that's if they go to a bowl game. You know, it's 2020, so to say, I would be surprised if Texas skipped a bowl if they were healthy enough to play. That would surprise me. And you know, Tom Herman needs every bit of good that he could go get. You know, as if you're watching on the video, you just saw Rob doing the money. You know, if I'm Tom Herman, I'd almost say I don't want to go to a bowl game, so it's going to cost you more to buy me out of your pocket. It's not money I helped you earn.
It's true. It's absolutely true. If Ellinger's leaving, that certainly kind of throws it. And to announce it today before invites to bowls have occurred, that'll hurt the bowls committee.
Well, see,
the bowls are going to look at that and go, I don't want that.
It's the way that they did it. I mean, Sam hasn't tweeted out his goodbyes like every other guy does. You know, it's not like Tom Herman actually said, yep, Sam is done. He said, we will miss this guy who's opted out and this guy who's opted out, and we'll miss Sam too. Wait a minute, what?
Bold new world. The CFP stood the same. 1 through 5 are exactly as it were. Do you get a sense, at least from the pundits that I do think hold sway and have a sense of what goes on with the selection committee, that maybe Ohio State is losing some traction here because as we get closer and closer to having the decision made next Tuesday, there just isn't enough to judge them. And I think with every passing week, the voices are getting louder and louder. Now that Dabo Sweeney is talking about it, there is certainly maybe a light at the end of the tunnel here for A&M, but they still got to take care of their business.
Well, and I think that's probably it. I don't know that the committee is going to penalize Ohio State while a lot of things are still in play. You know, and if Texas A&M goes out and gets a convincing win, hard to keep them out because I do think number of games does matter. You go back at the beginning of the year when, you know, when the Big Ten and the Pac-12 weren't going to play, what did the committee guys say then? Then when they did say they were going to play, but the sort of abbreviated schedule with no room for error, hey, number of games does matter. But the eye test also matters. And so, you know, it almost feels like, you know, we just kind of went through an election. Who's winning this state? Who's winning that state? Right now, you know, you've got Ohio State in the clubhouse with the lead, but you've got Texas A&M charging down the back nine, having a hell of a round right now, and you expect on Tuesday when the final vote to happen for Texas A&M to be there. And quite frankly, if A&M's in a close game and Iowa State wins the Big 12 championship in a blowout, seeing how they already jumped, do you take a Big 12 champion then with a convincing win? No. It would be Texas A&M.
Yeah,
it would be the
imagine.
SEC. I mean, just look at what do you got? 4 teams from the SEC in the top 8? I mean, obviously, the committee certainly understands the strength of schedule and the strength of competition in the SEC.
There are, 4 teams in front of an undefeated Cincinnati? You can tell that the bowl committee certainly understands where the power is. They've just got to continue to kind of play through it. But, you know, I think today that the likelihood or the possibility of A&M making it into the playoff is better than it was yesterday. It just feels like the tide is slowly kind of picking at this Ohio State team. They better be impressive. Taking out Northwestern on Saturday. When we come back, we're going to look at
one other little bit of college news. UTSA is still looking for a bowl partner. We thought it was going to end up being Kansas State. Not sure if that's going to happen. Doesn't look good. But congratulations to the Houston Cougars. You know, they've had more games ripped out from them. I mean, than seemingly anybody else. They did accept a bowl bid today. They're going to be playing in the New Mexico Bowl live from Frisco, Texas.
Such is the world. I wonder where the Rose Bowl is going to be. I know that they're searching around for
live
a place to land
from
too.
Arlington.
Or, you know, we got a place right downtown. It'll be nice weather. We'll throw some flowers on the river. We'll have some fun with it.
Somehow I think Jerry World's going to end up with a Rose Bowl.
Yeah, you get that feeling. Come back. Let's look at what the effect of a superstar staying in a mid-market has. We'll look back at the history of what even San Antonio dealt with. Giannis stays in Milwaukee. The ramifications for the team and the city coming up. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. We're your home for the holidays.
Jason Minix here for Alamo Water Softeners, a great locally owned, family-run business by the Townsends. You know, I've had a water softener in my home for years, and when we moved, got a new one installed by Alamo Water Softeners. It's got incredible technology. In fact, got an alert today that my salt was low, need to replace my salt because it's all tied together. It can tell you if you got water running in your house. It's incredible with some of the features they have, but the bottom line is you want soft water because in San Antonio, we have some of the hardest water in the country. Not only will it give you soft water and better tasting water, but an Alamo water softener can save you money. You're going to extend the life of your appliances and your plumbing. You're instantly going to notice the difference on your dishes coming out of the dishwasher. You'll feel the difference on your skin, hair, and clothes. They're the best value for the highest quality water treatment, and don't just take my word for it. On the next door app, top choice for water softener company, Alamo Water Softeners. Mention my name, get free basic installation. Discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference. Go to their website, alamowatersofteners.com. That's alamowatersofteners.com.
Game nights, the Blitz goes silver and black.
This is DeJounte Murray. It's Game Night San Antonio.
Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom. 30 minutes before every game night on the Blitz.
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Sales are rising quickly, but without another lead baker, Dale's Bakery is going to feel the heat.
Hey, you're baking alone today. I have to handle this order for the restaurant down the street.
Cool, but who's going to handle the pastries?
He needs to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
For your next tailgate here in San Antonio, grab some ice-cold Dos Equis. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York. Copyright 2020.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
You hear the phrase a lot this time of year, Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. But holidays are not always happy, particularly for guys grappling with a divorce that they didn't choose. Suddenly these husbands and dads are thrust onto battlefields where the fate of everything they care about will be decided. In the meantime, they must await the outcome in someone else's home this holiday season. These men need more than the help of a good lawyer. They need the hope and encouragement of a good friend. Chances are I've described someone that you count among your friends. Be sure to remember him this season.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's San Antonio area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 210-739-0000. That's 210-739-0000. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in San Antonio, Austin, and St. Louis. Cordell & Cordell, a partner men can count on.
Right now, Allstate has almost as many ways to save as there are types of music. Save for being a new customer. Save for driving safely. Save for driving less with pay-per-mile insurance. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent to get a quote. Find out how much you can save today. Allstate. Now that should be music to your ears.
Not available in every state. Savings based on early signing, discount drive-bys, and mile-wise. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Taking on that next oil change yourself is a great idea. We can help you get started. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge full synthetic motor oil and an STP extended life oil filter for just $31.99. You can even get it all fast your way with our next day delivery or free same-day store pickup. Getting the job done just got easier. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
It is the Blitz. Hey, we're about 20 minutes away from the joined by a very funny guy. Paul Virzi is going to join us at 5:15. You might have seen him on Good Morning Football. He's got TV specials. He's coming to the LOL this week, and we've been giving away tickets. We're going to give away another pair here in the 5 o'clock hour. He's going to join us and kind of lighten the mood, I assume, here in about 20 minutes. We left with some rather interesting news, and we'll continue to chase it. It appears that Sam Mellinger's career at the University of Texas is done. We know he's a senior. He's going to graduate anyway. We don't know where Texas is going to play in a bowl. We assume that they will. But it looks like he won't be playing. Now, that doesn't mean – I don't know if he won't come back. This is still in play. And I'll be honest with you, Jason, I never threw in the possibility of him staying as a graduate next year. Just in my mind, I felt like he'd be prepping for the NFL and probably be on an NFL practice squad next year.
You know, and that certainly is a possibility, but as much as he loves the university, and he's left it open that he would come back with this free year of eligibility that everybody is playing with to be a super senior. You know, work on your graduate degree, go get your master's while it's still free, and you know, and I think even the way Sam apparently is ending his Texas career, and I do think if there's a bowl game, he would probably play in it. I can't imagine him not, unless he's that just pissed off at the program right now as a whole. But even a player like Sam, for it to come out this way, that you know he is in fact going to be missed, as Tom Herman said. You know, it's not like they announced a transfer or players entering the portal. And that's the other thing, though. Can't he enter the portal and go play somewhere else for a year if he wanted to?
I guess that's the rules. I don't know. It seems like everybody can come back if they want to. There's just got to be a place to sit. You know, there's might not be enough room in the locker room to come back to. We'll continue following this as we nail down whether Ehlinger is in fact gone forever from the University of Texas. We didn't really touch on it too much yesterday because you know, Giannis didn't have much effect on the Spurs, but he's staying in Milwaukee. And you look at the commitment that he made. Of course, the $50 million a year. That's what the NBA is paying now. But it struck me that, you know, once they got him, the first thing was hooray for small markets, and I agree with that. But that small market in Milwaukee, Jason, think about the ramifications of what David Robinson has done for the last 30 years in San Antonio. Think about what Tim Duncan has been able to do in San Antonio for so long. This 4 years wasn't about setting the hook. This was getting Giannis in the boat. If after, you know, he could opt out after 4 years, from now on, if Giannis leaves, it'll be because Milwaukee has decided it's time for him to go. I can't imagine a scenario where they don't have everything in place for him to stay. Now, we did see what happened with Anthony Davis, but I believe that New Orleans also decided it was time for Anthony Davis to go. So I think they've got themselves not only a player for the foreseeable future, but the impact a guy like Giannis will have on Milwaukee. Think about the Carver Academy and all the things that David has done. Think about what LeBron has done in the Akron and Cleveland areas just for being a guy that stayed. Milwaukee's going to benefit for so long for this guy staying in a market that I just don't think anybody expected to stay. I think it was probably 50-50, and after the way they lost in the bubble, it looked worse than it had been because he had no help, and he didn't play all that well. Well, he's staying
and again,
4 more years.
And again, with Cleveland, I mean, you know, LeBron was there, helped the community, went away, came back. You know, the Miami were like his college years, and he came back. But he's done so much there now that he's living in L.A. as well. But I see with a guy like Giannis, I think the comparison to David and Tim is spot on because you do have the superstar. You do have, you know, like when Tim signed the max and then afterwards he would take less to make sure they could stay competitive. They've obviously convinced him that is the plan that they are going to do. And it's not about getting to the finals. It's about winning championships. And when you look at what the Lakers have done, even with that, I don't know there's enough help that's going to get Milwaukee to a championship. They'll probably get to the finals, but also I look at what Brooklyn has. The East isn't going to be easy for Giannis, but and he did it ahead of the deadline, which also surprised me because he had until, the 21st to get it done?
We always talk about the Greg Popovich coaching tree and the things that you learn at the foot of the master. Well, who else but Bud would be able to keep a superstar in a smaller market that has come to adore him? I think the playbook was followed strictly by Coach Bud. What Pop has done more than once to keep these guys around. Just huge news for Milwaukee. I'm excited for the city because I know what that meant to San Antonio this last quarter century, and I know what's headed for Milwaukee because that kind of thing, that kind of guy just gives that civic pride that you just can't quantify. It just kind of lifts your entire town up. And, certainly titles help, but having a guy like that choose you, it kind of makes you stand a little bit taller when you walk down the streets of Milwaukee today,
It does. And as Spurs fans, we know how they're feeling in Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think more than anybody else, I think a small market team who has done just that.
And we remember the trip to Orlando. We understand the fear that Bucks fans were going through over the last couple of weeks.
You get that kind of a small man's mentality, like, oh, no, they're going to do it just because we're a small market. No, they got it done. And congratulations to all involved, and especially him, $200 million. Not bad for the last couple of 4 years. Hey, the 5 o'clock hour is chock full of goodness. The Texans look like they have their man. It's a guy we all know. Louis Riddick interviewed today with the Houston Texans, and this guy has been outspoken on the Texans over the years. We'll hear from what he's had to say and the possibility of him becoming the next general manager over Deshaun Watson. Good hire or not, we'll talk about it. We're visited by a great comedian, Paul Virzi. Will be here at 5:15. Lots of Spurs reaction. We're going to hear from Lonnie and Devin as well. Hang on, the 5 o'clock hour. Well, that's the good hour. We're giving away tickets, too. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Video surveillance is a part of life. Everywhere you go, you're on video, and that includes your house. You go to so many homes right now, they got the doorbells and video cameras part of their security system. If you don't have that, you need to. Jason Minnick's here for BSG. They did the security system in my home, and I can tell you having video cameras, having that video doorbell, the features are fantastic, but it is nice to be able to look up and look at your camera and see what's going on around your house or at your doorbell, especially, this time of year when packages get dropped off. At BSG, they got a video doorbell that can tell if it's a person, a car, or an animal. So you don't get alerts if a cat walks across your porch or if a car is driving down the road. Call them, 210-877-1222. That's the number for BSG. They're the Jedi experts when it comes to video security systems. You don't want to buy the cheap ones at the big box store and try to put them together yourself. If you're trying to get a new system or you're trying to upgrade or add what you already have, BSG can certainly help. They offer free estimates, deferred payments up to 6 months, and in-house financing. They're a great local company. They've been in business in San Antonio over 20 years. Call BSG at 210-877-1222, 877-1222, or online, bsgtexas.com.
Don't set your fantasy lineups without consulting the Fantasy Gods. Brought to you by RDK Advisors. Brandon Medina and Michael Jimenez help get your fantasy football lineup set so you can win big. Sleepers, steals, diamonds in the rough, injury replacements. They have you covered. The Fantasy Gods. Every Sunday morning from 11 to noon. Brought to you by RDK Advisors on 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. If you're having to rework your office, let Hill Electric design your socially distanced space to ensure each workstation has the proper electrical needs. For over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. There is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
The San Antonio Express News gives you access to the city, access to be in the know, access to be amazed, access to be better citizens, access creativity. The San Antonio Express News. Express your relief. Express your voice. San Antonio, be the first to know with the San Antonio Express News. Subscribe today at expressnews.com/subscribe. Get access with the San Antonio Express News by subscribing today at expressnews.com/subscribe.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
it's your apartment speaking, and I need some favors. When you're singing in the shower, just try going up a key. You're trying to be an alto when really you're a soprano. Oh, and if you could bundle your renters and car insurance with Geico, it's easy to do online and we could save money. And then, when you read your murder mysteries at night, could you read out loud? But skip the murder parts because I get scared.
Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com today.
Mary's Bistro delivery business is bustling and ready to burst.
Orders 34, 35, and 36 are up. Who's handling these? Hello, Mary's Bistro, now delivering.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Sean Lee of the Dallas Cowboys. You're listening to 1250 ESPN San Antonio.
And 94.5 FM, where the pros play. KCTC San Antonio.
For everything Cowboys.
Jason Minutes, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. We're on the go. There we go. For a lot of folks, it's the last Wednesday of work of the year as we get closer and closer to the holidays. You know, Jason, I was putting together the schedule over the last week. For the next 14 days, ESPN San Antonio will be carrying 29 different live play-by-play events. That's a little over 2 a day over the next 2 weeks as we close out the season with lots and lots of bowl games in play. Last night, we heard from the CFP, the penultimate list was given to us. The final one will come out next Tuesday. The Aggies sit at number 5, still looking in. The top 4 have been the top 4 basically all season long. So Iowa State, after several significant wins, a rise to number 6. All these teams are ahead of Cincinnati. There's a call in here. James, we normally wanted to move on, but this one was so out there. I think it's worthy of consideration. Nick, thanks for calling.
Yes.
Welcome on the Blitz.
Yes.
State your case for Cincinnati.
Admitted Aggie hater here and thinker of all things that they do are weird. That's just off the top. I just want to get that out of the way. I'm a UTSA guy, T-shirt Tech fan. But I don't want to see
Whoa. Did you say T-shirt Tech fan? Like Texas Tech Red Raiders, guns up?
That's legit.
They have
that's
T-shirt Tech? Wow.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right,
Rookie
Steve.
It's a long story. Yes, I've been sad for years. That's not the point. The point is I'm a college football fan, and I don't want the Aggies anywhere near that game because they're not – the drop-off from 4 to 5 is just so bad. I don't care if Ohio State's played 3 games. They're a better team than A&M. They just are. I've watched A&M play enough. They're a good defense. They got a good young running back. But, Rob, you're an Aggie, right? But you know what time it is. You know how good they are. And you remember, like, the really, really good Aggie teams, like the one that lost to Notre Dame in the Cotton Bowl. This team is not that. They're a good
they're
team.
not.
They're not a top 4 team in the nation.
Nick, as a Longhorn T-shirt fan, I will say this. A&M deserves to be in the top 4. Texas A&M deserve to be ahead of Ohio State because the number of games should matter. And when you look at the number of SEC teams in the committee's top 10, that's an acknowledgement of their strength of schedule. You know, you've got Dabo Swinney. If you would have called in, Nick, with the argument, not that Ohio State is better, but Dabo is campaigning for A&M because he'd rather play the Aggies than Ohio State, I would have given you some credit for creativity. But just to say Ohio State is better, yes, you watch them play, but who have they played? In their few games, look at what they've gone against, and then you look at their history the last couple of years, they have lost to unranked opponents way too many times to say their games right now is a true reflection of who they are. Texas A&M has played their way into the playoff, and I think next Tuesday you're going to be very disappointed when you see the Aggies leapfrog Ohio State in the number 4 if they handle business on Saturday and don't pull an Aggie thing. That's why Aggies are all nervous right now. You know, they're hoping that their normal November doesn't show up on a Saturday in December.
You know, I appreciate what Nick has to say. I do. And if you're talking talent, yeah, I think Ohio State probably has a little bit more talent on that roster than Texas A&M does. And if you're talking max potential, yeah, I do think they have a max potential of being better than Texas A&M. But the eye test just ain't enough. But I've been on the record all year long that this is not a national championship year. I don't know what we're going to call the champion. It'll be national champion. It'll be a very difficult thing to obtain, much like the NBA championship. But this doesn't feel right because so many teams could not participate for so many different reasons. And if they did, they got started late. This isn't a true representation. So I don't go into this season or into the playoff with this vigor that they have earned it and they deserve it. Well, they have earned it and they do deserve it. But the fact is, the eye test is the eye test, and as long as we're dealing with that, I got to take what we're given. And it looks like it could be a bowl game. I think Dabo's doing his best. I have to rely that Ohio State will become that Ohio State that I've understood to see in the past, that will trip and fall or at least stumble a little bit to give an opening. But A&M's just got to win the football game and look impressive doing it. And after that, you know, you get the feeling it's going to be a New Year's Day bowl, but it just won't be the one we wanted.
Well, and I think that's part of it. I mean, it's crazy to think you could have a season like this, and if you get a New Year's Day bowl, there's going to be a little bit of disappointment and a lot of what if. And a lot of feeling like you got screwed because Ohio State's got the better brand and the better image and all this. Yep. But, you know, there should be a penalty when your conference says we're not playing, and then they jump into the party late, and then all of a sudden, we can't play all the games that were on our schedule anyway, and you still get to go to the dance. And you've been saying all along there'll be an asterisk on this trophy. I think the only one that would have an asterisk would be Ohio State just because of the number of games played. It should matter.
I agree. It should, and man, Nick's a UTSA fan. You want to talk about things that should have mattered? Record. How many games did you play and how many did you win? That should certainly matter. Hey, we're going to talk the Houston Texans. It's a very interesting scenario that we're in because we all know the guy that is being interviewed. Louis Riddick is being interviewed today, or was interviewed today, for the general manager job with the Houston Texans. We have heard today from Riddick, and we're going to play the sound, but we're up against it, and we do want to welcome on a show a great comedian, Paul Virzi. So we'll talk Texans in the 5:30. But coming up, Let's meet a great comedian, Paul Virzi. He's going to be at the LOL. When the conversation is done, we're going to be giving away tickets to go see him. So you want to hang around. Let's have some fun. Paul Virzi joins us next here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. You know, we're getting close to fight night. Saturday night, Canelo will be going off. Where are you going to watch it? Well, I'll tell you where you should watch it. Twin Peaks is where you should be. Like-minded folks gathered together for one of those great fights that can only be hosted the right way at Twin Peaks. Why? Because no matter where you sit at a Twin Peaks, you are in a man cave. Because if you think about the great things about a man cave, it's all there at Twin Peaks. Comfortable seating, absolutely. 360 degrees of big old TVs. There's not an event on that you won't be able to catch at Twin Peaks. And what's coming out of the kitchen and across the bar is more than enough reason to go out there. Twin Peaks will be showing the Canelo fight. You want to head out there early. Make sure you get your seat. And when you get there, pour yourself a 29-degree cold beer, kick back, and enjoy all that Twin Peaks has to offer. That great food coming out of the kitchen, scratch made specifically for you. I say it all the time. I'll say it again. Get there early. Get yourself a dark local brew that comes to you at 29 degrees of deliciousness, and pair it with one of those great Huntsman's platters, the Huntsman's board. Great cheeses and meats, a great way to pass your way through to that big old meal, that chicken fried steak that's just around the corner. Twin Peaks is spectacular with 3 great locations just waiting for you on fight night, 151 and 410. Days of Allah there on I-10. That's my home field, and Loopland at Park North Logan. SoCal. Head over to Twin Peaks for that fantastic food and, those great drinks being made by a mixmaster par excellence. We head over there for good times. But why do we go? I'll tell you why. It's those scenic views.
Follow your favorite San Antonio area high school on 210varsity.com. Instant scores anytime on any device. Upload photos and videos from the action on your school's page. Click on 210varsity.com. Powered by Hill Electric, MomNeedsABreakCleaning.com, and ESPN San Antonio.
Here you go, Nigel. Merry Christmas.
For me? What is it?
It's a little Christmas drink called eggnog.
Oh, this is delicious. On Dasha, on Donna, on Mildred, and Mildred. Joel, where's my red suit? I've got toys to make and Christmas cheer to bring to all our Quarter Moon customers.
Nigel, you're a plumber, not Santa, and get off the file cabinet. Folks, here at Quarter Moon, we know when you need help with your heater, air conditioning, or your home's plumbing, you don't want gimmicks. You just want a fair price, your system fixed, and working 100% so you can enjoy the holidays with your family. And we can be at your home fast with one call to 651-5899.
Oh, hello, Joel. Hey, I've got something for you. It's a drink called eggnog. Ho, ho, ho.
Nigel, you know that's just a milkshake with nutmeg, you nut.
I knew that.
From all of us at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC,
Merry Christmas! 651-5899, y'all.
License number M13229 TAZLA 0007435E.
America's Diamond offers our 5-year, 60-month financing program every day of the year. You don't have to wait for a sale to get 5-year financing with credit approval, or wait for a sale to get our guaranteed America's Diamond price, because we treat everyone fairly and with respect every day of the year. For almost 40 years, we have designed and created our extraordinary diamond jewelry right here in San Antonio. When you buy at America's Diamond, your money stays in San Antonio. Our whole company is located here and locally owned. Our kids and grandkids go to school here. All 40 of our coworkers live and shop in San Antonio for everything. Through the years, America's Diamond has supported thousands of wonderful charity events in San Antonio. We're the official jeweler of the San Antonio Spurs and of the University of Texas at San Antonio Athletics. See our television program about diamonds and jewelry tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or see it right now at americasdiamond.com.
When you needed your mom, she was always there with the Vicks Vapor Rub. She used that soothing scent to calm you. And her mom used it to calm her. And her mom, well, you get the idea. Vicks Vapor Rub's always been there. It always made you feel better. And today, it still does. Bring back those childhood memories with the comfort and care only Vicks Vapor Rub can bring. Vicks Vapor Rub, family tradition for a reason.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, we all drop our phones. It happens. You fumble it, crack it, splash it. Well, Straight Talk Wireless now offers this new Platinum Unlimited plan that includes phone protection. Just $65 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data, plus 20 gigs of hotspot, 100 gigs of cloud storage, and more. All on the best network. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. See Mobile Protect terms and conditions at Assurion.com/Straight Talk. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Sure, the players bring some skill to the game, but if I don't put them in my lineup, who cares? Not me. I'm Eric Rubino, fantasy baseball GM and league runner-up 2 of the last 9 years. I use the Progressive Name Your Price tool with options based on my budget. And for a guy that's used to being in control, it fits. Like this runner-up t-shirt. Champ gets a trophy, but you can't wear a trophy. Boom.
Get options based on your budget with Progressive, even if you're not a legend in your own mind. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
It is the Blitz. Welcome aboard. You're on ESPN San Antonio. How's your week been? We're going to try to improve that. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson, comfortably ensconced in the warm and soft O'Reilly Auto Parts mobile studios this weekend. Got a funny guy coming to town, one of my favorites. Paul Virzi is coming to the LOL Friday and Saturday. We're going to be giving away tickets in just a couple of minutes, but we want to welcome aboard Paul. How's your day going, man? Welcome on the show.
Well, it's going good considering we are about to get 2 feet of snow, and it just started like literally 5 minutes ago. So I cannot wait to get the hell out of here and come to beautiful Texas, San Antonio.
Well, I tell you, here is New York City for you, where it's 60 degrees right now in San Antonio. I might change your flight just to make sure you don't get stuck with 2 feet of snow coming up. But I mean, let's start with the obvious, man. All this COVID stuff, how has it been touring and doing what you do in the middle of what we're all going through?
Yeah, well, I actually, me and my wife and two little ones all got COVID in March and April. So we got a antibody test, and luckily we got through it okay. So when that happened, I was like, let's go to places that are open but safe. So I was able to do that, and getting it early kind of made me say, okay, I can go work. Because after months and months, it was like, I'm ready to shoot a special, I'm ready to go, and then everything shut down. So to just be back and to go to places like, LOL this weekend and stuff is just it's great. It's great. I'm looking forward to it, seriously.
He is Paul Virzi. He's joining us here on the Blitz. Coming to San Antonio, we're going to be playing at the LOL on Friday and Saturday. Check his stuff out. Got a great podcast, The Virzi Effect. He's got all kinds of great stuff. Night at the Stands, #1 on iTunes and #4 on Billboard. Funny guy coming to San Antonio. We're giving away tickets in just a couple of minutes. I've seen you, Paul, on the Good Morning Football. Are you a Jet fan by chance?
How dare you? How dare you? No, I am a diehard New York Football Giants G-Men fan.
How dare you? I mean, we were out. I mean, this is cowboy country, my friend, and you guys got Jason Garrett now. Congratulations.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't be telling you guys that I'm a diehard Giants fan when I'm coming there to perform comedy. But
hey man, sell tickets any way you can.
I'll be honest with you. I like Jason Garrett. I think he's listen, you guys got annoyed. I get why you guys got annoyed though. The clapping, yes. I mean, that guy would clap at a wake of a family member, and it's just like he's a positive type of guy, and I think he's in the position though that he should be in. He doesn't seem like a head coach guy. He seems like that guy who should be talking to the quarterbacks and stuff. But I'll tell you what. We started out 1-7, doing okay now. I mean, last week was rough, but I think I like our chances against Cleveland on Sunday night.
There you go. Paul Virzi joining us here on ESPN San
No,
Antonio.
I don't. I don't. I really don't.
I mean, that was the best joke you're going to tell all week.
All right, man. It could happen.
You know what it is? I tried to say it with a straight face to where I believed it, and then when you said, "Do you really?" I'm like, no. I mean, no. Our offensive line got manhandled. So what are you going to do?
Well, see, and I think that because you got your 2 shows Friday, your 2 on Saturday. You also added in a show on Sunday, I think, because you saw that the Giants were playing Cleveland, and you'd rather work and make money than have to watch that, right?
Yeah. Plus, I'm one of those guys that I start out watching it calm with my kids because I don't want to lose my mind like a lunatic in front of my little ones. And then I just start screaming profanity to the point where I just look at my wife and I'm like, what do you want me to do? It's 3rd and 7, and that is a horrible call, okay? And so my son
Jason Garrett, you ran a draw.
That's how scarred you guys are. You guys remember plays.
Yeah, 4 yard
battered. We're battered. You can join us in the club. It's kind of a 7-step program getting over Jason Garrett. You can join us at your leisure. He is Paul Virzi joining us here on the Blitz. Coming to San Antonio. Got 5 shows coming up this weekend at LOL. We'll be giving away tickets here in just a couple of minutes, so you can go check him out. We'll have tickets all week long, so you can go check out a star like Paul. Now, the stand-up business came to a shutdown like everything else did. You just talked about sitting and watching a game with your wife and kids. Tell us about the adventure that is being a stand-up, marooned in your flat there in New York for days and days on end, and existing to live another day and start to travel again.
Yeah, well, what happens with the stand-up is we're on this clock where when we're in the house and off stage for me, it's about 3 or 4 days. After 4 days of not really doing what I do, which is tell jokes and create stuff like that, I just start to really get irritable. And and my wife is just like, you need to go. So as much as she says she's going to miss me when I fly out there in 2 days, I know she's like, man, I hope this weather doesn't hold him up. I know she wants me to get to San Antonio as bad as I want to get there. But I'll tell you this, I am coming with remember when Tyson's first fight when he got out of jail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hurricane Peter McNeely.
Yeah, exactly. Hurricane Peter McNeely. Well, I feel like that's how I am right now. Well, not McNeely. I feel like Tyson. I'm going to come out there, and I'm just ready to give this new hour. And I really do love Texas and San Antonio. I'm not saying that because you guys, I've never seen people eat like animals the way you people eat. I went to a Mexican place in San Antonio down by the Riverwalk, and I saw this guy. He gave me like a 42-ounce margarita and then put an entire Dos Equis upside down in it. And I was just like, what am I supposed to do? I got hammered drunk. I ate nachos, and I was like, these people are animals, and I love every second of it. So that's what I'm doing.
Next time, get the large one.
Yeah, you got the lunch portion, man. You're going to have to go big, man. You're coming back.
He was there a happy hour. He went small.
Yeah, you guys are rolling your eyes. You're like, 42 ounces. Are you kidding me? Is that a shot glass?
He's coming to San Antonio. That's Paul Virzi. He'll be down around all weekend long. So you've been down on the Riverwalk. You've seen our San Antonio River. Your general perception of San Antonio, what do people say to you when you say, yeah, I got a couple of gigs in San Antonio, I'm heading out?
No, people are just, people are interested and they want to know. And because a lot of times when people hear about, Texas or you're going to Texas, they really don't think San Antonio. Other than, there was a talk about the Spurs or something like that. Oh, I got one for you, though. I want to just tell you the story because I can tell you now. There was another comedy club. I'm not going to mention names. There was another comedy club there. And I'm on stage at this comedy club. And I just start just going at the river. I'm just being a comic. I'm having fun. I'm like, you people call that a river? That is a dirty stream. That is right. I could jump over that. Right. I just start talking trash, just having fun. These two old people get up out of the crowd, leave, and they're yelling at the owner. And they're going, who does this guy from New York think he is? Making fun of our thing. They were people that gave tours of the river. They actually worked at giving tours and telling people the history of the river. And I'm sitting up there calling it a dirty stream that I could jump over.
That was Rob. So. You know that, right?
It might have been me, bro.
That was Rob.
Sorry about that. I took great umbrage. It's all right. In a former life, I used to drive one of those boats down on the river and give the tours. Which is enough for a good solid 5 for any stand-up comedian on its own, let me tell you.
Hey, guys, come out and see me perform in San Antonio. I'm a Giants fan, and I make fun of your river. Let's go.
Hey, man, get your tickets now. ImprovTX.com.
Hey, we know exactly where we stand. Like you said, when you mentioned you're headed to Texas, people think shiny Dallas or oil business in Houston. And you mentioned San Antonio, and they expect that there's tumbleweeds rolling down the roads and guys riding around on horses, which to some extent is actually true given the weather we've had lately. But no, we're kind of proud of what we got. And we're excited about you coming down to San Antonio. Paul Virzi is going to be at the LOL on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Let's give away a pair of tickets right now. 656-3776. 656 ESPN is them numbers. Caller number. Hey, Paul, what's a good number to give away these tickets to?
Let's go 11.
Number 11. Well done. That's a vet. Caller number 11 to 656-3776. 656 ESPN is going to go check out Paul Virzi this weekend down at the LOL.
Paul, I'm looking at your Twitter, and about an hour ago there was a tweet. You were involved in some sort of pizza throwdown. Now, being a New Yorker, I would imagine you're pretty good at a pizza throwdown, and it looks like it's a pretty good story here, and obviously probably part of a special, right? What the hell were you doing making pizza? And are you the hashtag pizza god? Paul?
You ran him off, man.
Dining. And amazing, food, right? And
yes.
Did I lose you or you guys got me?
No, you're back. You're back.
You're back now.
Yeah. So anyway, they do really good food there, and they decided to have two comedians kind of make a pizza with the toppings. What's going to win? But my friend gives pizza tours in New York, and he's kind of a foodie, so I might have lost, but I'm sticking with mine. I'm a straight. I don't go. This guy was putting honey on a pizza. guy was doing like caramelized onions. It's like, come on. It's like, pizza's pizza. I don't put honey or caramelized onions on a pizza. So, Yeah, I mean,
That's a crime, bro. That is a crime to put it on there. He's coming to San Antonio. We're not going to brag about our pizza, but you go get yourself some tacos in it. It'll come close. You have a bit in one of your stand-ups. You look like a guy who should have pizza flour on his shirt. I think that is to me that's a compliment. I'd like to think I look like a guy who would have pizza flour on my shirt.
I appreciate you guys saying that San Antonio doesn't have good pizza, and then you went to what your strength is. You go, listen, pizza's not our thing, but you know what? Mexican food's incredible. I appreciate that because so many times you go to these places and they're like, I know you're from New York. The pizza's not bad here. And then I have it, and it's the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted. It is bad there. And your Mexican food is incredible. It is incredible, and I'm going to get a Dos Equis that's upside down in a 42-ounce margarita when I'm out there. I promise you that.
Again, dude, at some point you got to get away from the small one and get the big one next time.
What? How much bigger? I mean, you guys. I think you guys. I'm not even joking. I think you guys had a burger somewhere where the bun was 2 glazed donuts, and I really it was. You have that, right? That was like a cheeseburger, and it was like the bun was donuts. And I was just like, what is wrong with you guys down there? Like, you guys just go super, like, when they say everything is big, you guys aren't kidding down there. It's a lot.
Well, what do you find wrong with a donut with a cheeseburger in the middle?
I don't know. It was just, it's just something wrong. It's just almost... It's like I feel violated when I see that.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting, dude. I don't know who's doing that, but we need to make them stop. And if San Antonio's known for that, we need to put an end to it because we should have none of that.
Yeah, I don't know. It would just be like a hooker showing up with a bag of dope. It's like, enough. Just let's do one of these things. Sorry, was that too much?
No, that's perfect. I think that kind of sums it up right there. A cheeseburger with a couple of donuts around it is like a hooker showing up with a bag of dope. That is exactly the analogy that I was looking for, and I couldn't find it. That's why you're the highly paid professional.
One of these things. Yeah, let's do one of these things, not two. Two's over the line.
Depends on which one you choose.
I mean, Paul is proving he's not a greedy dude.
Paul Virzi. Hey, man, thank you for taking some time out. Can't wait to see you this weekend. We promise not to heckle, and we love you coming down to San Antonio once again. Tip that Dos Equis into your in that big old margarita. He'll be here this weekend. Caller number 11 to 656-3776. 656-ESPN's winning tickets to go check out Paul Virzi. Lots of shows this weekend. Let's go celebrate a good time here in San Antonio. Paul, thank you so much for dropping by. We look forward to seeing you this weekend.
Likewise. Thank you guys for having me.
Hey, coming up, let's look at the San Antonio Spurs. They go down in their second preseason game, but, it's just preseason. An L, that goes away in a couple of weeks. What do we pull from that? Let's hear from a couple of the young guys, Lonnie and Devin, on their games last night as they head into an interesting season. Hold on tight. We're talking about it next here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. We want to pay your mortgage and your rent all next year. We're your home for the holidays. As we sit today, most of us are dealing with a variety of things over COVID. Primarily is a lot of us are sitting around a lot, maybe not getting the same kind of activity because we couldn't go to the gym. And if you're sitting around a lot, sometimes those injuries sneak up on you when those muscles aren't quite as toned as they used to be. If you're dealing with a strain or a sprain, like so many of us deal, don't linger. Call my friends over to Rosti. They are literal experts with a passion to take care of those strains and soft tissue injuries that are part of so many people's lives. So if you've been going up and down ladders and dealing with it a little bit, if you've got one of those frozen shoulders that just won't allow you to put that star on the very top of your Christmas tree, or you got those sore feet from walking the malls and getting all your shopping done, a Rosti can get it taken care of in a remarkably short amount of time. They have found on average under 4 visits get you back in the game. Why? Because a Rosti, they specialize in getting you out of pain because they fix the problem. So many times you go to a medical professional, you'll be prescribed an over-the-counter medication or maybe a prescription prescriptive narcotic that will dull the pain but not stop the problem. Arasti fixes that, and the pain goes away. When you go to an Arasti provider, you know this. They're going to accept most insurances, and you will never need a referral to make an appointment. Well, how do you make an appointment? It's easy. Go to their website. That's the way I recommend it, Arasti.com, AIRROSTI.com. There you'll see a list of all those providers. Too many to name, and I promise you there's one very close to you. When you go in, you're going to get a full assessment. They're going to figure out the problem. They're going to fix it in a non-invasive way. You get manipulated, binged around, and taken care of. And I'll tell you what, it works. Call Arasti today. Get yourself out of pain. Do not let it keep you from doing things that you love. You call and get in there, and I am sure you're going to thank me later.
The ESPN San Antonio High School Football Game of the Week, energized by Hill Electric. Brought to you by Mom Needs a Break Cleaning, the San Antonio Express News, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, and the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Every Friday night starting at 7.
This ESPN San Antonio College Football Update brought to you by Dos Equis, a most interesting beer.
After a year like no other, she deserves something truly special. And Diamonds Direct is here to help with our best holiday offer ever. 48 months, 0 interest financing on any purchase. So you can get her that diamond ring, pair of diamond earrings, or diamond eternity band and spread your payments over 4 years without paying a dime in interest. In fact, everything's included. All bracelets, all pendants, all new designer jewelry, all colored gemstone jewelry, even our designer engagement rings. Diamonds Direct makes it easy to splurge with this first time ever holiday offer. And as always, your safety and your convenience are top priorities. You can shop in our showroom with confidence or video chat with us online at diamondsdirect.com and even arrange for curbside pickup. If we've learned anything this year, it's that our loved ones and our relationships are what matter most. So make her holiday the best ever with a gift that's romantic, timeless, and sentimental. And remember, with any purchase, you can take advantage of 4 years 0 interest financing. Diamonds Direct.
At the shops at La Cantera.
Ho, ho, ho! Santa here for Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters. It's the season of giving, and there is no better gift than a high-performance window tint, remote start car alarm, or car stereo from Mother's Window Tint. I have all three on my 1959 fully restored pickup truck. Ho, ho, ho! I know what you're thinking. I only use the sled and reindeer one day a year. Mother's Window Tint stops more heat and more glare than any other film. You can protect your family with a remote start car alarm like I did. And if you want to make your car go thump, 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 Mother Thump, do like Mrs. Claus did. She went to Mother's Window Tint too. Prices are marked down. Safety precautions in place. Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters. Remember, do it at Mother's and save! Ho, ho, ho!
Injuries happen. If you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need to know about the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. From a minor sprain to a compound fracture, TSAOG has got you covered. Not all injuries require surgery. Dr. David Espinosa treats all non-operative orthopedic injuries and concussion baseline testing. Telemedicine services are available through Ortho Connect. If you're hurting, go to the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Online, TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
Stugatz here. Dell Technologies end-of-year sale is the perfect time to upgrade tech. Save big on the latest computers powered by Intel Core processors for your small business. Don't forget to shop servers, storage, and thousands of top-brand electronics, all with free shipping. Call a Dell Technologies advisor to help you find the right tech for your business needs at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
The holidays and driving go hand in hand, but cold weather and batteries don't. Make sure your vehicle's battery is winter ready with free testing at Advance Auto Parts. If it needs to be replaced, we have Die-Hard batteries that are reliable, durable, and powerful enough to get you through every road trip. Plus, we'll even install it free with purchase, no appointment necessary. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. Most vehicles, most locations. See store for details.
It is the Blitz. He's Jason. I'm Rob. James, pleasure taking us to the 7 o'clock hour. I want to thank Paul Virzi for stopping by. We gave away a pair of tickets. We'll give another pair away here in about an hour or so right here on ESPN San Antonio.
Apparently, there was a place on the Riverwalk that used to do all kinds of different things with donuts. There was, it was called Gordo's on the Riverwalk. A couple people tweeting in about that. Apparently, it's also closed.
Gordo's or Gordo's?
Gordo.
Fat guy?
Gordo. D-O-U-G-H.
So fat guy in Spanish.
Yeah.
Gore with D, like dough and donuts.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked it didn't last.
It's amazing. It was down on the Riverwalk. Although looking at some of the photos, the photos looked good, but there's a lot going on in that food.
That's tourist food, man. Let's not do that. The Spurs went down last night. Hey, we're going to give away some Paul Virzi tickets here in just a little while. Thanks for all those that have called. We'll be doing it again today and again tomorrow. Spurs lost last night, but that's really not the concern. The Spurs only have 4 preseason games as they prepare for their 72-game, 3 preseason games, 72-game shortened season. They've gone into the preseason without Keldon, without Derek White, and you play the Houston Rockets on the road for the first kind of getaway as the 2021 team is taking shape. Didn't expect a whole lot. They had the unveiling of James Harden. Let's talk about that real quickly. James showed up fat. Is he that fat? No, I don't think he's that fat. Is he out of shape? Yes, he's out of shape. What did anybody expect? Last 2 times we had heard from him, he was in Atlanta and in Vegas. Now, he'll tell people that he was, working with his personal trainers, but I don't believe that. He's out of shape. Is he, he's always been kind of a barrel-chested dude. He can get in shape, but it is very obvious that he has no desire to be with Houston.
Well, demanding a trade and showing up. I mean, the internet had a whole lot of fun with him last night. I saw one of the comparisons to the fat Zeke photos and the fat Harden photos last night, and and then somebody rolled one out of Tony Romo, and and it was like, these are photos of what a male athletic body should look like, and so can't call James Harden fat when you've got these guys.
The Spurs, these are not the Rockets that they used to be. The game, their idea has changed. They've changed their GM, got a young first-time coach in Silas there. We knew that they were going to go through transition. The Spurs are going through transition with players as well, and we keep waiting to see this free-flowing offense, and I think it's happening. We took more threes this game than we did the last, though it still doesn't feel like the Spurs are there yet. Now, what we did see last night was ongoing success from Devin Vassell. And Lonnie Walker, we'd like to welcome to the season. First game, not so much. This game, he was, I guess the best term, Jason, was aggressive.
He was aggressive. Devin was aggressive. And I think for 3 quarters last night, the entire team was. But, when you think about the threes that the Spurs are taking and fast breaks where everybody runs to a spot on the floor for a 3 is certainly a different Spurs team than what we're used to seeing offensively. Pop was asked last night after the game if he's happy with the amount of threes that they've taken over the first 2 preseason games.
I think we're still passing up a few, catch and shoot threes. Still a little bit too unselfish.
Now, I was kind of worried anytime Pop is asked a question about happy, you generally don't get a solid answer. Is it weird to hear Pop say we're passing up too many threes? I mean, when you go from better to best, you got a good shot, but you could get a great shot, pass up the good to go get great. It's weird to hear him say we're passing up threes when you look at the number of threes that they've taken.
It took about 8 more. I think that last night they did the first game right about 38, I do believe. The real question here with San Antonio and the way that Pop changes this offense is the decision-making at the three-point line. I wonder, and certainly every situation is different in a basketball game, but I wonder if in Pop's ideal world, if the fast break was occurring, and you talked about Sean Elliott brought it up last night. Hell, on the fast break, not even went to the rim. They all went to their assigned spot on the edge, waiting for the drive and dish. The Houston Rocket, the modern version of what the NBA is becoming, good, bad, or indifferent. That's what it is. I wonder if you had gone to set up at that three-point line, Lonnie catches the ball, has the availability to get an uncontested shot, but it would rely on a dribble. He takes one dribble, takes the shot. Maybe makes it or misses it. He took an open three. Next time down, if he took a dribble, got an opening to the lane, got and made a layup, yet passed up a three, what would be the ramifications of that? Would coach be upset with him for taking a two when a three was available? That will be when we see the fundamental shift, the paradigm shift, and what the Spurs have always been to what we believe they are becoming.
It's bizarre because we're talking about Greg Popovich. For so long, we've talked about the Spurs way and what that entails. In fact, Lonnie Walker last night talked about the Spurs way.
Absolutely. Just overall, just playing the Spurs way. If there's an open shot, take it. If there's an open drive, take it. Whenever you see the open man that's next to you, even if you're open, from good to great, that's just the Spurs way of basketball. That's just the Spurs way of playing. So, every single time I'm trying to be aggressive, because the more aggressive I am, the easier it is for my teammates to have open shots. And, we're all happy. From what you hear there, if the better shot is to put it on the floor and drive, then you're supposed to do that. That is the Spurs way. But didn't I just play something from Pop that said too many threes that were open were not shot?
I think we're still passing up a few, catch and shoot threes. Still a little bit too unselfish.
Who is that? What am I hearing?
I can't imagine a world where Greg Popovich is upset with his team for being too unselfish. But this is where we have come in this modern NBA. And the fact is, last night, what they did was fairly effective, though. There are some holes there. One of the things I'm noticing, first of all, congratulations, Rudy Gay. I mean, he's very much a part of this offense. He brings the ball up at times. When they go huge, when they run the two bigs, Rudy's running that big-time three, and big man four playing a three, kind of really effective. I see a great niche with Rudy. His scoring average is going to go up this year if he can stay healthy. But what my concern is those bigs, because you're pulling LaMarcus out, and he's taking a lot of shots, and I think Pop expects them to take some more. Trey Lyles certainly has the capability of hitting a three, though he's not a threat by any stretch, but I see him taking more. And then there's Jakob Poeltl. Jakob should never be more than about 12 feet away from the rim, ever. And, he signed for a little bit more money, and when he signed with the deal, it was, we need to get him more offensively involved. He needs to be more a part of this offense if he's going to be effective and play the way that we want. I'm not seeing it. I don't see any attempt to get him involved. I'm not seeing him finding the offense and being appropriate in it, even though he's been there before. I think he's having a lot of trouble adjusting to what those new guys are doing.
And again, when you say a lot of trouble, I mean, he was in the bubble, so he's already been a part of it, and we're 2 preseason games in. But at the same time, I'm watching a Spurs team do things that I'm not used to seeing them do. And I know that there's a shift in what they're doing. You hear Lonnie talk about the Spurs way, and then you hear Pop say, a little too unselfish at times, take a pass up threes. I mean, I think it's too early to go, well, maybe Jakob shouldn't have signed. He's going to find his place, and Pop will find a place for him. But early in these preseason games, maybe they're just working on certain things that just really don't include him, yet he's out there on the floor.
They're running plays for LaMarcus. They're running plays kind of for Trey, on the pick and pops. I'm not seeing a lot other than the high pick and roll with Jakob Poeltl. And if there's an attempt to get him more involved, we haven't gotten to that part of the playbook yet. And I think maybe that might be part of it. It might be, let's keep shooting those threes so we get more comfortable when the ball arrives, letting it go instead of thinking what's the next pass going to be. And I think that's a tough mindset to change. But Jakob, it's going to be funny to see him come around a curl and have a play called for him. I hope it's in the works. I'm sure that was part of the discussion when he signed his contract, but there we sit. In the 6 o'clock hour, giving away a couple more tickets to go see Paul Virzi, who's coming to the LOL. We're going to be joined by Mark Singleton. We're doing some cooking with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds, and if you have the wherewithal, find yourself a device, go online and watch us live. You can do that at ESPNSA.com because it's a cooking segment on radio, and while we cook and dress it up as best we can, once you see what is happening from those Tim Byers inspired recipes, I think it's even more fruitful. So find that and go watch it live. And he's going to join us just about in about 15 minutes. So when we come back, the The holiday traditions around our country continue to amaze me. And while San Antonio, when it comes time for holiday, we line up around the block for tamales. I mean, they're spectacular, but there's no only time you're worried about your tamale is when you buy it from a guy at work who has them in a cooler and you have no real, you don't know where they're coming from, but they're good. I've done that many,
and it
many
wasn't
times.
from a guy at work, it's a guy that showed up at your work with
Just
a cooler.
shows up and knocks on the door and has a cooler and selling tamales. Who's turned those down? I know I never have. Those are always the best, but God knows what's going on in them. Wisconsin's got a bizarre holiday tradition. The Wisconsinites, the cheeseheads. See, they have something to go along with their cheese. It's called a cannibal sandwich. The cannibal sandwich is, it's kind of dangerous, quite frankly. We're going to tell you what it is.
Wait, what are we talking about? Because I thought that was just a typo on the page. I thought it was going to be some sort of cannabis sandwich. You mean cannibal?
Well, it's cannibal sandwich is what it's called, and how it's made, it sounds gross, but evidently it's kind of a thing up in Wisconsin, and they shouldn't be doing it. We'll talk about that and head into some more Spurs and Dallas Cowboy talk. The IR is spitting some players off its list. The Cowboys got some cornerbacks coming. We'll tell you who's coming to the rescue coming in the 6 o'clock hour. Hang on tight. We'll be right back talking cannibal sandwiches here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. We're your home for the holidays. We talk cannibal sandwiches, but the fact of the matter is you need to be very much concerned about what you eat. I know that sounds like a broad statement, but for a guy like me who used to eat literally everything and push 300 pounds there for a long time, going to the IFH and finding out exactly what, when, and how to eat has been a change in my life that I did not expect. A little bit over a year and a half ago, I was introduced to Dr. Jacob Torres over at the IFH. And, I had no intent on going on a diet. That wasn't my plan, though the doctors certainly didn't want me to. I wasn't on medications yet, though every time I went, they kept telling me I was getting awfully close. And when I met Dr. Torres, he was the very first doctor who really strives, works hard as possible to get you off of every medication. Ever met a doctor that does that? That's what Dr. Torres' goal in life is, to have your functional health be its very best. And your functional health, well, that's how you're living despite what your numbers tell you. Well, I was way overweight and getting awfully close to having to deal with those medications. Dr. Torres said the first thing we could do is knock some weight off, and you'll see a remarkable change in those things that you are blaming on being old or just getting old, like the sore arthritic joints that are carrying too much weight, like not getting a full night's sleep because you're snoring so much that it's waking you up over and over. And I haven't talked about those ongoing headaches, the brain fog, the inflammation, and all those things that go along with being overweight. Well, Dr. Torres talked to me about how we can start to adjust the way that I live, an altered lifestyle. He put together a program specifically and only for me, not an off-the-rack program, one that's based on my biology, my genetics, and where I am in my life. And I'll tell you what, it worked. I started dropping weight immediately. It's not the easiest thing I've ever done, but it's absolutely the best thing I've ever done, and I want that for you. I want you to call Dr. Torres and meet with him. 210-468-1891 is the number that'll change your life. You can go take the functional health test at the website, the instituteforfunctionalhealth.com. 2021 is just around the corner. It's time to resolve to live that healthier lifestyle. Start with Dr. Torres and the Institute for Functional Health. Make 2021 the year that you'll never forget, because it'll be the healthiest year you've ever had. You call the IFH now, and I am sure once you get skinny and looking good in fabulous clothes, you're going to thank me later.
Hey, we're both working toward a common goal. Quitting time. This is San Antonio's sports leader. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. All day, every day.
If you're trying to figure out what you're going to do for dinner, it's 10 to 6, and you're craving wings, Wingstop will bring it right to you, because Wingstop now delivers. You can go to wingstop.com, order right off of the Wingstop app, and have classic or boneless wings, sauced and tossed in 11 mouthwatering sauces and dry rubs delivered right to you. They are freshly made just for you. Don't forget about those great fries, the house-made dips of ranch and blue cheese to top off your order. You know Wingstop brings the flavor. It's their thing. They're the destination to hit up when you crave cooked-to-order wings with bold, layered flavors. For lunch, for dinner, for late at night, go to wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Order your favorite flavor today. Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
As a professional painter, you know your customers want a flat finish, but don't want to pay the price of fighting dirt, grime, and scuffs. Use new Behr Ultra Scuff Defense from the Home Depot for a beautiful flat finish, plus stain and scuff defense. And that price starts at just $29.60 a gallon, and that's before the Pro Extra discount. A flat paint that's too tough to scuff. Behr Ultra Scuff Defense, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Available online and in select stores.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
You hear the phrase a lot this time of year, Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. But holidays are not always happy, particularly for guys grappling with a divorce that they didn't choose. Suddenly these husbands and dads are thrust onto battlefields where the fate of everything they care about will be decided. In the meantime, they must await the outcome in someone else's home this holiday season. These men need more than the help of a good lawyer. They need the hope and encouragement of a good friend. Chances are I've described someone that you count among your friends. Be sure to remember him this season.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's San Antonio area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 210-739-0000. That's 210-739-0000. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in San Antonio, Austin, and St. Louis. Cordell & Cordell, a partner men can count on.
The radio in your dash is more than radio. That SiriusXM button is instant access to a world of exclusive entertainment, including ad-free music channels for every genre and decade. You can also hear your favorite sports, comedy, talk, and news. Plus, you can stream with the SiriusXM app on your phone and connected home devices. And there's never been a better time to listen. Subscribe now and get your first 12 months for $5 a month with a new Select subscription. Fees and taxes apply. Go to SiriusXM.com to learn more.
With no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, banking with Capital One is like the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like Taylor Swift choosing what to wear.
It's looking kind of chilly out today. I think I'll go with a cardigan.
Yep, even easier than that. And with our top-rated app, you can bank anytime, anywhere, making Capital One an even easier decision. That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
New consumer accounts only. Approval required. Terms apply. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
It is the Blitz. Mark Singleton's going to join us in just a couple of minutes as Southern Recipes Small Batch Pork Rinds cooking segment of the week's coming up. This week is specifically for Jason Minix. How can you dress up the green stuff on your plate to make it as complete, as edible as possible as you put it down with everything else there? Well, how about surrounding it with Southern Recipe Small Batch goodness? Hold on, Mark Singleton will be around the corner as we do our weekly with him. Can't wait for that. But in the meantime, you know, Texas A&M sits at number 5, trying to get into number 4. They are well ahead of an undefeated Cincinnati team. You know, we have this standing policy that if you call and you stay on hold for over an hour and you feel so much that you got to get it off your chest, you're going to finally get on. Well, we got a couple of minutes. Let's let Nick on them Kielbasa Bacon phone line, 656-3776. All right, man. I'm setting the stage for you, though. I am not sure what this argument's going to be like. Cincinnati should be in the playoff? All right, go ahead. You have the floor.
I do think Cincinnati should be in the playoffs. So here's my bit. I respect Alabama, Notre Dame, and Clemson, their records. I have a real problem with OSU, Ohio State at 4, because they've only played 5 games. And then to make Cincinnati's case, I just think they've been disrespected. I understand they've the Tulsa game's gotten canceled twice. I think that's the biggest knock on the Bearcats. But to see a UGA and Florida team ahead of them with 2 losses just makes me wonder what.
Do you really believe, Nick? Do you really believe that the Tulsa game would have made any difference at all? Do you really believe that if Cincinnati lined up and played a schedule like an SEC schedule or even a Big Ten schedule, you would be sitting at 8-0?
Oh, absolutely not. No,
okay.
I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I'm delusional, and I think that we'd have an 8-0 schedule or 8-0 record if we're playing, you know, Florida, Alabama, LSU, A&M. That's not going to happen. But based on what the college football playoff looks at, record, strength of schedule, Cincinnati's played multiple ranked opponents and beaten them this year. Had they had Tulsa earlier in the year when they were ranked in the top 25, it looks better if they beat them early in the year and then beat them again in the conference championship. But you got 3 teams ahead of the Bearcats that aren't even playing two teams that aren't even playing in the conference title game. So it's hard for me to look at these rankings and respect it. Yes, sir.
I think they're all cogent.
Cincinnati.
He's making valid points. You are making cogent and valid points for every year but this one. I mean, this year's out the window. I mean, it doesn't matter whether they're 8-0. This is back to the beauty contest. Now, instead of just picking the one champion, they're picking 4 to see if they're going to figure it out. But this is no different than any beauty contest we've ever seen. It's in the eye of the beholder. And it's too bad because better teams are being left out.
But I do think it kind of comes down to, what was the school down in Florida, FA, whatever, that, made their own national championship rings. If you're not in the Power 5, it's hard to play for a national championship. And, I just have a feeling if Cincinnati were to get in, whoever they played, it would be ugly.
I feel bad for the group of 5 teams because, honestly, they have earned it. They've done everything they were supposed to do, just like UTSA did. They earned it, too. It's just a weird year, and you just don't get that opportunity. And, that group of 5 first-place team that might get to play on New Year's Day, that seems like the offing, just like it will be for Texas A&M. Good day, just wrong bowls. We appreciate the call, Nick. And when we come back in the 6 o'clock, we're giving away Paul Virzi tickets. Go check them out this weekend at the Lowell at the LOL. We got us a national stand-up comedian coming in for 5 shows, and we've got tickets for you. But coming up next, Mark Singleton with Southern Recipe Small Batch coming. We're doing some cooking, and vegetables are on the menu. Hold on tight. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. We want to pay your mortgage all of 2021. We're your home for the holidays.
The ESPN San Antonio High School Football Game of the Week, energized by Hill Electric. Brought to you by Mom Needs a Break Cleaning. And by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Every Friday night starting at 7.
Strict attention to detail. That's what sets Kubota construction equipment apart. It's how we maximize performance, increase strength, and give you the dependability you demand. We engineer our equipment precisely at every level. It's what makes us a leader. Save up to $11,000 on construction equipment or get 0.99% APR financing for 72 months. Now through December 31st, 2020. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Fever is a leading symptom of the coronavirus, so take your temperature twice a day with the Exergen Temporal Scanner. It's quick and easy to use, and its accuracy is backed by more than 80 clinical studies. Have your family start and end their day with the only home thermometer used and recommended by hospitals, doctors, and nurses. Your family can take their temperatures in seconds to know where they stand in the fight against COVID-19. Protect your family from the spread of this deadly disease and stay safe with Exergen.
Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds has teamed up with Coach Ditka's Gridiron Greats Assistance Fund once again, helping heroes from the gridiron who are in dire need. They'll be celebrating Pork Rind Appreciation Day by giving away $5,000 and other incredible prizes. Plus, you could win a rare one-on-one conversation with a Pro Football Hall of Famer. And let me tell you, that's pretty awesome. Enter at porkrinds.com and pick up your favorite flavor in the snack food aisle at H-E-B.
It's been a hell of a year, San Antonio. I'm Chip Ingram, and my bars, the Roo Pub and Angry Elephant, have been closed more than they've been open, and I didn't see that coming. Fortunately, things are getting better. 281 North is open, and football is finally here. Our kitchen is open every day till 2 a.m., and we open for happy hour at 11 a.m. And as our customers say, our food is pretty darn good. So this is me asking you to help a local guy and his staff get back on our feet. Come see us at the Roo Pub and Angry Elephant at 281 North and Redland Road.
Santa's Little Helpers are making their way from the North Pole to Twin Peaks. Head down to the Twin Peaks Lodge December 20th through the 24th for their costume party and drink specials that would bring anyone the holiday cheer. And this Saturday, Twin Peaks has your front row view to Canelo versus Smith. Visit your lodge this Saturday, order a cold 29-degree draft beer, and watch as Canelo Alvarez goes head-to-head in the ring against Callum Smith for the middleweight title. It's a fight you don't want to miss. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Here, families can find a home 500 miles away from home. Here, they can play intense games of chess for 3 straight hours. And here, they can break the 8 o'clock bedtime rule as much as they want, but only until 8:30. Okay, 9. Because here at McDonald's, we're making donations to Ronald McDonald House Charities to help keep families together when they need togetherness most. If it's important to families, it's important here. McDonald's, serving here.
Free shipping is great. Free shipping no minimum? That's that Walmart Plus magic for your holiday. Get all your last-minute shopping done with free next-day or 2-day shipping on a huge selection of eligible items from Walmart.com. With no order minimum, free shipping means the freedom to click that order button to your heart's content. Just another added benefit to your membership. Maybe that's why it's called Walmart Plus. Start your 15-day trial today at walmart.com/plus. See membership details. Restrictions apply.
KCDC San Antonio.
This is Tony Romo, 1250 ESPN San Antonio.
And 94.5 FM, where the pros play. Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at ESPNSA.com. Go there right now if you have the wherewithal. You can watch us live, our video feed. The O'Reilly Auto Parts mobile studios, comfortably and warm. The ovens are on, and we begin our segment as we do every Wednesday. Welcome on the show, Mark Singleton, a Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Well, Mark, this week, as we welcome you on for our weekly, this one is unique in that we're putting Jason we're giving Jason an opportunity to put some green stuff on his plate and put it on his plate and make it edible in a way that only Jason Minix will eat the green stuff. That would be covered in Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds.
Again, I'm not a big fan of vegetables, but if you wrap them in bacony bits, if you basically camouflage them because they no longer look green, I think we're on to something. And quite frankly, Mark, it's easy to make.
Well, that's the greatest thing is we talk about every week, what recipes Mark proof. This one's just stupid easy. But I really wanted to kind of take a zoom away. We've done meat, we've done seafood, and we've done a lot of smoking. And I really wanted to show how you could make some veggies taste good. And it's not just zucchini that this works with. Think of this with fried okra. If you want to put some more South in your mouth than fried okra, do fried okra with pork rinds. It's unbelievable how y'all. And you know what the Rob? Do you know what the plural of y'all is?
Ewans.
No, all y'all.
All y'all need to try some of this. Well, now before we go any further,
all y'all.
Before we go any further,
what
the idea, Mark, of doing these with the Mark being Mark-proofed, this looks like the best possible thing that you could have at a tailgate. Not only do you have your vegetables, but it dips well and it's easily cooked to go along with all the other meat that you're probably doing anyway. This is a perfect tailgate recipe.
Yeah, it really is, and it's so simple. All we do is just take our zucchini, leave a little skin on. It's healthy, and it adds some color and stuff. And you cut them into fries, and then literally all you do is take 2 eggs, a little quarter cup of heavy cream, whip it together, crush up your pork rinds as usual. Remember, clean hand, dirty hand. Dredge the zucchini fries in the egg, and then put them in the pork rinds, the crushed up pork rinds. And here's a really important part. Today, our recipe online calls for doing it in the oven, just putting them on a baking sheet, 15 minutes in the oven at 400. Really simple. Today, I also did it because, a lot of times we talk about smoking, but we never talk about air frying. And, my second favorite thing in the whole world to do other than smoking is air frying, right?
Yes,
right?
sir.
And this is awesome recipe for air frying. You don't do it quite 15 minutes like in the oven. I do it about 12, 13 according to your air fryer. Play around with it. Maybe cut it off at 10 and look at it, to get your recipe and your air fryer equilibrated. But you can do any vegetable like this in 15 minutes. The whole recipe would take maybe 25 tops. This is so simple. Once again, 2 eggs, quarter cup of heavy cream, beat it up. Take okra, squash, any vegetable you want, dredge it in the whisked egg and cream, roll it in the pork rinds, put it in on a baking sheet, put it in your air fryer. You've got a baked, zero-carb vegetable dish, and it's like fried okra and crunchy bacon, or fried zucchini and crunchy bacon. And, you see this all the time in restaurants. Today I did a little sriracha and mayonnaise, but you could do ranch. You could do anything that gives you that alternate, that fat hit to the crunchy and cool it off with the hot fry. So you're getting all those taste sensations at once that we like to talk about. A juxtaposition of crunchy and savory and sweet and, in this case, sriracha, so a little hot.
And that all can factor in with whatever flavor of the pork rind that you're going with, that you're going to get there. And I'm excited to hear because, I one of my COVID purchases was an air fryer, and trying to find different things I can do with the air fryer. I like the fact that you could do this. And these ones you made with the spicy dill pork rind. So, again, you pick your favorite flavor, whether it's the Korean kimchi barbecue or my new favorite flavor is the pasilla chili cheese. That's good on everything.
It really is. This time I used the spicy dill because I'm also going to do some dill pickles here in a second after we're off the air. I bought some really fresh dills. I've been letting them come up to room temperature. Then I'm going to dredge them, bread them, and air fry them for an appetizer for us tonight. This works with everything, guys. It's stupid simple, and it's really a great tasting snack.
Mark, I have a question. Now you said pickles, which I think has another interesting kind of turn of events on this. The okra. Let's get back to okra. Would I do the whole okra, or would I cut it up like I'm accustomed to doing when I fry the okra, the old-fashioned and unhealthy way?
Absolutely. You make it, once again, how can you put more south in your mouth than fried okra? Yeah, dredge it in pork rinds. I mean, this is exactly the same recipe. Just cut it up into wedges. If you want to be fancy, you could do them whole. I like to do them smaller and almost make them pork rind or coated okra chips. So I would go the opposite way. I would cut them a little thinner and make them. It's just like a little crunchy nugget. To try jalapenos, get some great mild jalapenos. Do the same thing. This works with everything, guys. You could do jalapeno fries, breaded in pork rind. Put them in your air fryer. I promise you're going to knock it out of the park. You're going to love this one, guys.
So basically, when you go to H-E-B to get your Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds, you get a bag or two to snack on, and then another 2 or 3 bags to cook with, and you just take everything to another level. And we often mention keto friendly and low to no carbs, depending on what you're doing with them.
Absolutely, and once again, it tastes great. You're not, as I like to say, you don't have to eat bad to eat well. I mean, this is a great tasting recipe. This tastes better than the breaded version, guys. This is better. And that's what we get so excited about, is it's a healthier version of a Southern staple, of a pub staple, and we cook it all the time. But, Rob, I promise we're going to get Jason eating vegetables every week now. Now that we've got an air fryer and bacony crunchy vegetables, I think we got him hooked.
What a great, for those of us that gather together over the holidays with of course, the bubble-friendly family gathering for Christmas as we stay as safe as possible, we're all tasked with bringing something to eat. And for everybody out there that's looking for something to bring, this will be the conversation starter. If you show up with something like this, where you're offering the zucchini in a way unlike you've ever had, or the okra, oh my goodness, what a great way to pair with those New Year's Day black-eyed peas. There's ideas running through my head here, but the first and most important ingredient here is the Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. And what we're finding week after week is not only does it add a unique flavor to whatever you're doing, but it stays so keto-friendly. You can stay inside of this broad idea of what a diet is and eat what you like. That's one of the great things about what Southern Recipe has offered so many people, is those that are looking for that dough, that crunch, that need to get those carbs. You get all the flavor and then some, and that crunch and that textural thing that we're all so desperate for. And it's new and unique, and it's something you're going to do no matter what because it's good.
Exactly. And the fun thing is, as we talked about before, so many people are having so much success with this lifestyle, and finding new ways to incorporate or to make carb-free dishes that we've always thought of as kind of carb-laden is really fun. And over the next year, Tim will be working with us to even bring more things. Now, we also are going to talk about some that aren't so keto-friendly, like crackling cornbread and some other things that they're still dang good. So we got a lot of great recipes coming up, guys.
Absolutely. Now, Mark, before we let Mark go, though, we were going to have a lot of fun today talking some football, talking about a bowl game that featured your SMU Mustangs and our UTSA Roadrunners. COVID has taken that away from us, but we're still going to, UTSA was going to go up there and win that game.
I was really looking forward to this. I mean, not only getting to talk to you guys about it, but being in a bowl game, being in a bowl game in Dallas, being in one of the first bowl games for UTSA, a program that we've watched go from, conception to great success now. And then, golly, I went to SMU in 1981. That's when I got out. It was Pony Express time. I thought that was going to last forever. It really was tragic, and the school deserves a great program. And gosh, we've got one with Coach Dykes and Shane, and all those kids are just doing a great job. It's such a shame that they got struck down by COVID, because it would have been a heck of a game. I think it would have been a high-scoring game and a lot of fun for people to watch, and really kicked off the whole bowl season. Dang it, it'll have to be next year.
Well, the COVID came and got you. Hey, everything we talk about, I want you to go to this website, porkrindrecipes.com. If you'll go there, you're going to see a lot of what Tim Byers has inspired for us, and we do this on a regular basis. If you've missed any of this episode, it's easy to find. Go to espnsa.com, the audio vault there. We're going to be tweeting it out. But go to porkrindrecipes.com. You'll see Tim Byers. You'll see his inspiration and why these pork rinds play such a huge role in this lifestyle, but also just adds just to the culinary flair that you can offer coming out of your kitchen. Spectacular recipes, one and all. Just one more reason to go to HEB, grab your Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds, enough to eat and then enough to cook with, so you can get through this holiday season the right way, as healthy as possible. Mark, once again, we are astounded. A new way to eat some broccoli the right way.
Hey, guys, as y'all know, we've been doing this since 1955. And just the concept of someone taking pork rinds to a party thrills us. Y'all be good and have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, guys.
Have it chock full of goodness and love. Mark Singleton joining us as he does on every week. Same back to you, Mark. To you and yours, have a wonderful Christmas, a happy holiday season, and we will join once again as the new year rings true and you've resolved to lose some weight and live that keto lifestyle. We're going to help you down the road the easiest possible way. Mark Singleton here with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. What a great new recipe. Now you got no more excuses, my friend.
None. I mean, I know it's underneath the bacon and goodness. At the very least, I would try this. I definitely will try this.
Dredge that in some of that sriracha mayo. Yeah, that is a tailgater special.
Or ranch.
That goes without saying, although you need to make it as healthy as possible, James, as we are adapting a lifestyle of which we have no regrets.
There you go.
There you go. Coming back for the rest of the hour, we got a lot to dig into. Not only do we talk small batch pork rinds, we talk Dallas Cowboys as well. Cheeto is on his way home. We'll talk about the IR releasing some Cowboys. That defensive backfield's got the cavalry coming their direction. We'll look toward the Cowboys in San Francisco coming up next here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. Hey, we want to pay your rent all of 2021. We're your home for the holidays.
Yeah, if you're, speaking of homes, having issues with your plumbing or your heater, your AC at the house, there's one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899 is the phone number, 651-5899. At Quartermoon, they're full service. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. From a leak in your slab to a faucet leak, they'll get you taken care of. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions. A great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. 651-5899 is the phone number for Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 651-5899 or online, quartermoonplumbing.com.
Dallas Cowboys football is on ESPN San Antonio and 102.7 Jack FM.
Zeke Elliott walked all the dogs.
Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, New Brakes Mobile Brake Repair, Alamo Water Softeners, Ewald Kubota, The Root Pump, and The Angry Elephant.
My name is Kelly. I want to tell you about Dr. Jacob Torres and Institute for Functional Health. I met Dr. Torres 5 years ago. I was in my late 40s, gaining that middle-age bulge, feeling less energetic, and I had aches and pains in my back and shoulder. My cholesterol, blood sugar, and other measurable numbers were okay, but not good. My cardiologist suggested if I did not change my habits, I may need to start taking pills to manage my health. I was not looking forward to spending Sunday evenings counting up my pills for the week. I phoned Institute for Functional Health to set an appointment with Dr. Torres. Over the next few weeks, Dr. Torres totally changed my life. I'm now 53 years old. I do not take medicines. I lost over 40 pounds, and my weight has remained amazingly consistent. Most importantly, I feel great. I'm able to do things at 53 that I was not able to do at 45. Dr. Torres is my hero. He changed my life.
I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. Call me for your free consultation at 468-1891. That's 468-1891.
This football season might look a little different, but Dos Equis wants to remind you that nothing will change college football's oldest tradition, the tradition of drinking beer. So no matter where you're tailgating, make sure to pick up some Dos Equis because it's been a long offseason. Dos Equis, the official beer sponsor of the College Football Playoff and proud partner of Texas A&M Athletics. Wherever you're tailgating this season, grab an ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis.
Dos Equis, the official beer sponsor of the College Football Playoff and proud partner of Texas A&M Athletics. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York. Copyright 2020.
Jason Minix here from the Blitz. You know, in San Antonio, we have some of the hardest water in the country. If your water smells or has an odd taste, call Alamo Water Softeners at 210-274-6122. Alamo Water Softeners is a locally owned family-run business that offers the highest quality water softeners at affordable prices. Free in-home or phone estimates available. Get clean, soft water by calling Alamo Water Softeners, 210-274-6122, or go to their website, alamowatersofteners.com.
Money hooray, money hooray, money for the holidays. Oh, what fun it could be with money for the holidays. Need money for the holidays? Jackson Hewitt could help. Starting December 17th, come in and ask a Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro how you could get up to $700 fast with an early refund advance 0% APR loan by Metabank. All you need to get started is a pay stub or other proof of income. Learn how at jacksonhewitt.com. Terms apply.
I'm Dr. Baker, an ER physician. If you're having leg pain, swelling, or redness, but haven't talked to your doctor yet, don't wait. This could be deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to your lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty breathing and be deadly. Your symptoms could mean something serious, so don't wait. Talk to a doctor right away, by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
What's in store this holiday at your local Staples?
Missile Toner and Ink Nog.
'Tis the season to save big on ink and toner at Staples.
Right now, get 30% back in Staples Rewards when you spend $75 on ink or $175 on toner.
Shop in-store or pick up curbside.
Give your printer the gift of ink or toner this holiday and receive 30% back in Staples Rewards.
In-store only. Ends 12/26. Curbside available in most stores. Restrictions apply. See store or staples.com/30 and rewards for details.
It is the Blitz. You're on ESPN San Antonio. Blitz brought to you by the Thompson Law Firm. Jason Thompson, his website, alawyer4us.com. His phone number, 210-900-0400. Call him as soon as possible after you've been in a car crash. He is there to help you take care of all the insurance companies, all the issues while you take care of your family as he fights to get you every penny that the law allows. Call Jason Thompson as soon as possible, 210-900-0400, alawyer4us.com. The Spurs go down. We talked a fair amount about the Spurs. We'll look at them in a bit. But the Dallas Cowboys get ready for San Francisco on what's been a good week around Frisco. They come off of a win, an effective and dominant win. The first time I could say we'd seen that all season long. And health seems to be kind of coming back. They went into last week with 4 defensive backs that had spent at some point, some time on the practice squad last week and were relatively effective. Well, we get our rookie back in Diggs, and it looks like Cheetah will be back as well. At least they're off the IR.
And the fact that they're Cheeto off the COVID list, Diggs off the IR. And Diggs was playing well about the time he got hurt. So I'm excited to see those guys back. But at the same time, I've been pretty impressed with what we have seen out of some of those practice squad guys, even though there's been more than one time where it's like, who's that guy? And you got to go look him up. I mean, and it's weird to say that, but, I mean, like, who's that? And again, they are in and out. They've dealt with so many injuries, but, there is an idea up in Dallas. They're not going to go to the playoffs. They know they're not going to go to the playoffs, but they do want to finish strong. And I think it's huge for Diggs to come off the IR and get some more reps in his rookie year. Be better for next year.
Be better, make big mistakes. Now it doesn't matter. I think the Cowboys go out and try to win every football game, not worrying about the ramifications. But, ideally every position group gets better by the week. And Diggs had been up and down, but the best thing about a young player is they get older, and the more reps he gets, the better off we'll be. You wonder, as Cheeto comes in through the rest of the season, what his long-term status will be with the Cowboys.
I have no idea. I mean, you kind of feel like Cheeto's done enough to stick around if the contract is right. They certainly seem to like him. This isn't like Mo Claiborne, who, right. They were ready for that thing to expire. And I like the way Cheeto plays. And, we often look at these secondary guys, and, there are some like Anthony Henry who earned the nickname Toast for a reason. But other guys, I mean, your quarterbacks are good, receivers are good. It takes a lot to play defensive back at any level, but especially in the NFL because, for all those receivers to do what they do, you're going to look bad in the process. There's very few shutdown corner types. It is just it's one of the harder positions to play in today's football with all the rules geared towards the offense. So sometimes, we look at a guy and go, man, he just sucks. What's wrong with him? Then you start talking to coaches and go, dude, you're mad at that guy. It wasn't even his guy. On that defense, he was supposed to let him go and somebody else was going to go pick him up. You're mad at the wrong guy.
Last week we saw a lot of questions about attitude and desire and finishing and the scary questions that get asked coaches when they're losing. Are they playing for you? And I think that the answer was very apparent in the game. The guys played hard, and it was amazing. Even though that defense was put in a situation where the defensive backs were going to have to guard just because the Bengals got behind the eight ball just like the Cowboys had all season long. They're suddenly down a couple of turnovers. They're going to have to throw the ball, yet those defensive backs held in there. And a lot of that was due to the play of that front four and the activity of the linebackers, but certainly it was a team effort. And adding those guys, I don't think it's going to hurt, but at the same time, this is a 49er team that is certainly better than their record, at least Super Bowl team last year. They've dealt with as many, if not more, injuries than the Cowboys have this year, but they're getting a little bit healthier too. Looks like Kittle will be coming off the IR, who's, if not the best tight end in football when he's playing, is certainly one of the top 2 or 3. How much of an effect will that have, especially on those linebackers who probably had their best game of the year?
Yeah, they did, and obviously if he comes back, he will have a major effect. And I think even the thought that he comes back, and this, might just be good coaching, the Cowboys now have to spend quite a bit of time defensively preparing to see a George Kittle. They just do. I know coaches at the high school level, they'll do something in a game knowing they're playing somebody the next week just so they know 15 minutes a day is going to be spent on that and not on some other things. And so to hear Kittle, because I thought he was done, could come back. You can't just treat him like any other tight end because he's George Kittle. I mean, he does get the extra attention. And so that does take away some of Mike Nolan's attention this week and that staff on how do they defend in case he is out there.
We'll have Coach Mike McCarthy on Friday morning, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Breakfast with the Blitz, 7:30 Friday mornings as we discuss football. And this week, Coach will be having some tacos as he earned them. We'll hold on tight. Yeah, it's taco. Tacos are for winners, and they got themselves a win, and we'll make sure that they get delivered, and we have the conversation with Mike as we do on Friday mornings. Again, that's 7:30 on your way to work. We'll have the coach for you. Breakfast with the Blitz every week, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. When we come back, the Houston Texans are in a long-term search for their general manager. Today, they interviewed Louis Riddick, and I think by popular vote he might get it, but is he ready to take on a Houston Texans franchise that has been decimated by previous management? And he will point it out himself. Let's hear about the possibility of Riddick become the Texans general manager and your thoughts on the future of the Texans coming up next. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. We want to pay your rent for all of 2021. We're your home for the holidays.
You know, while much of our attention has been focused on the chaos this year, think about you and your family. That's so important. Jason Minix here for Pax Financial Group. At Pax Financial Group, they know you have goals and dreams. Even if the world feels out of control, you're in charge of your life. Create a life of meaning, and to do that, you need a plan. At Pax Financial Group, they can help you create your personalized financial roadmap. No matter your age or how close you are to retirement, you need a plan to make sure you don't run out of money. At Pax Financial Group, they know you want to be financially prepared. In order to do that, you need trusted guidance. At Pax, they have the experience and tools to crunch your retirement numbers and get the answers you need. And right now, you can do it at no charge. Go to PaxFinancialGroup.com. Click on the Schedule Now button and book a phone conversation with one of their experienced advisors at no charge. Live a more fulfilling life. Start by going to PaxFinancialGroup.com.
Game Nights The Blitz focuses on your silver and black in depth for 30 minutes. Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom.
This is Matt Bonner.
Spend your game nights with us. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Guys, be a hero this holiday season by getting a cleaning from Mom Needs a Break Cleaning. We spend a lot of time looking for the perfect gift. How about the gift of a clean house that doesn't require you cleaning baseboards? Call 210-815-1399. Mom Needs a Break Cleaning is an affordable and professional way for you to get hero status. For residential and commercial cleaning services, call 210-815-1399. That's 210-815-1399. Or go to momneedsabreakcleaning.com.
Ho, 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 Santa here for Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters. It's the season of giving, and there is no better gift than a high-performance window tint, remote start car alarm, or car stereo from Mother's Window Tint. I have all three on my 1959 fully restored pickup truck. Ho, 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 I know what you're thinking. I only use the sled and reindeer one day a year. Mother's Window Tint stops more heat and more glare than any other film. You can protect your family with a remote start car alarm like I did. And if you want to make your car go thump, 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 Mother Thump, do like Mrs. Claus did. She went to Mother's Window Tint too. Prices are marked down. Safety precautions in place. Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters. Remember, do it at Mother's and save. Ho, ho, ho!
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider and are only available if the provider determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. You pay just $30 for a month's supply. And right now, get your first online doctor's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/real. That's right, free. Zero copay, no expensive appointments, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. Hims connects you to doctors online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe your ED medication. And a pharmacy sends it right to your door. Hims makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/real. That's forhims.com/real for your free online visit. forhims.com/real.
Want to hear how I almost got off the naughty list this year? I helped Santa save gazillions by having him download Capital One Shopping to his computer. Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them at checkout. You can download it too and save a bundle. You don't even need a Capital One card, and it's free. So why didn't I get off the naughty list? Turns out Santa's a stickler for naughty words. Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
Savings and available coupons vary.
Whatever you send through the U.S. Postal Service this season is so much more than mail or packages. In every carrier's hands is a card with your handwriting. In every box, on every truck, is your message that you care. We know how much goes into your holiday mail, especially this year, which is why we go the distance to bring you closer. Learn more at USPS.com/closer.
It is the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. We're your home for the big score and also home for the holidays. What we like to do year-round is make sure you're taken care of as a listener. Big Score, we give away cash. Home for the holidays, we pay your rent or your mortgage for an entire year. Yes, Home for the Holidays. It's easy to register and get yourself in the running. Go to ESPNSA.com, go to the Home for Holidays, upload all your info, and you very well could have your mortgage or your rent taken care of for all of 2021. Your home for the holidays. The Houston Texans are in an effort to, retool this franchise that has a piece that so many teams are looking for. They got their quarterback. Now, they had their wide receiver, and that's the issue. Over the last couple of years, the OBS environment seemed to have gotten toxic, and it went from the players wanting out to GMs just not being able to focus. And as they look for a new one who is going to eventually hire that next head coach, one in play today is Louis Riddick. He of ESPN, he of Monday Night Football. He formerly of general managership across the NFL. First of all, Jason, when you hear Louis Riddick, we feel like we all know him. He's certainly been talking about football forever. The idea of him coming out of the booth and taking over as general manager, and much like Mike Mayock did just a couple years with the Raiders, I think is initially looked scoffed at. But this, the more you hear from Riddick, the more you realize he is just a football guy, and you feel like a football guy needs to be running the Texans instead of some former team chaplain.
Yes, Jack Easterby's out regardless, and Louis Riddick is very good at his job, and it's almost like NBA coaches. You get fired, go on TV, everybody hears how smart you are, and you get a job. And Louis Riddick is the same thing. Now he is a career NFL lifer, we know that. But what got him out of the front office and needing to find a TV job, excelling at the TV job, to the point now that you're at Monday Night Football, and now you want to get back after not even a full season of Monday Night Football. You're getting, he's interviewing with the Texans today, according to Morton Shefty. Friday he'll be interviewing with the Detroit Lions. One's got a quarterback, one doesn't. That's pretty easy. I don't know if the Texans need to jump. If the Texans think Louis Riddick is their guy, then yes, you go there. I think most Houston Texans fans will say, yeah, Louis Riddick, I know that guy, sure. And he's not tied in the New England Patriots. And so that's another one in the plus column for Louis Riddick. But I don't know who's on their short list. You look at the committee that they have interviewing and all the people on there, from Jimmy Johnson to Tony Dungy to RC and other high-level types. Think about the networks that those guys have. Is Louis Riddick really the best candidate, or is he the most popular candidate?
He's been interviewing for this job without knowing it for years. He's been out there talking about the Texans on a fairly regular basis. And I know that his predictions and his thoughts have brought him to where he sat today in that interview, because what he's had to say has been relatively correct over the years. Right, James?
Well, correct and also very critical of the guy that he would be replacing. And, that's one of the things. When you're doing a job in the media, you give your opinion. You're paid to give your opinion. You better be very honest with it, even if it hurts your feelings. And that's one of the things in pro football. One of the hardest things for former players to do is to get on TV and criticize friends of theirs. That's one of the reasons why Peyton Manning didn't jump at TV early. He didn't want to be in a position to have to criticize his brother Eli. Louis Riddick, whether he thought he ever had a chance at getting the Houston job or not, has been very critical over the years of what the Texans front office, Bill O'Brien, was doing. Sports Radio 610 in Houston went through, and they found everything that Louis Riddick has ever said about the Houston Texans. It's pretty incredible as they look at it. And let's just go with the most recent one, the one that all of us thought was an awful move, and that was trading DeAndre Hopkins.
Well, clearly, I think it's obvious, Greeny, that when you're talking about the trade market, Bill has struggled to extract maximum value and get fair return in some of the trade deals he's made, starting with the timing that will maximum.
Let's stop there. Okay, so when you're interviewing with the committee and Mr. McNair, now we're going to judge you on everything you do on extracting value and maximum return, because you've been very critical of that.
In some of the trade deals he's made, starting with the timing that was a little bit botched as far as, Jadeveon Clowney and his ouster, what he paid for Laramie Tunsil, and then not signing him and not making it contingent upon signing a long-term contract. Now Laramie Tunsil absolutely has all the leverage on them in that regard. What he received in return for DeAndre Hopkins in comparison to what Stephon Diggs netted the Minnesota Vikings, people are comparing that. And then now, when you're trading for Brandon Cooks and basically swapping out DeAndre Hopkins for Brandon Cooks, and Brandon Cooks has a injury history. I'm sure that's part of the reason why the Rams were willing to move on from him, besides the fact that they wanted to get out from underneath that contract. That calls that into question. And then when you just think about the football aspect of it, and you look at how their wide receiver room is composed right now, with guys like Kenny Stills and Will Fuller and Brandon Cooks, that's really not the kind of mix, along with Randall Cobb, that you're looking for in a wide receiver room. And then here's the last thing, when you're talking about managing relationships.
There's more.
When you think about what the Buffalo Bills gave up for Stephon Diggs, remember who is up there in a personnel capacity right now? It's Brian Gaine, who Bill O'Brien ousted down there in Texas. You start to wonder, was he not able to go ahead and have Buffalo be a player for DeAndre Hopkins because of the fact that maybe that relationship is strained? And you know how much I talk about managing relationships. So now it's going to call into question that relationship and how that maybe was mismanaged and led to Brian Gaine being ousted from there. The relationship between him and DeAndre Hopkins, it's no secret that those two weren't fond of each other, despite the fact that they tried to make that just a contract situation. Bill says DeAndre wanted more money. DeAndre wanted to get out of there. Everyone knows that those two did get along and see eye to eye. That's not hard to figure out. You just have to make a few phone calls and figure that one out. This is not about Bill the coach. This is about Bill the GM. This is about Bill the deal maker. And right now, look, you could look at the deals that he has made going all the way back to last year and go, he needs some help, and they better get it fast.
Again, a lot of things in there that if you're interviewing, you say, okay, this is what you've said about this guy. You've got to be able to do this a whole lot better. The deal maker, manage relationships, maximize value, all of that.
That was a winning. If he says just that in the interview, it'll be very hard not to hire him. I have a question for you, Mr. Riddick, as I'm looking at your curriculum vitae. If your star quarterback was to, say, open a cheesecake store, and he was having let's say a grand opening, and he felt the need to go to said cheesesteak store and take photos with the patrons coming to the cheesecake store without masks on, would you have a problem with that? And how would you follow up with that? Because that did, in fact, occur yesterday.
How does that not break all the COVID protocols? If you're unaware, Deshaun Watson opened apparently a cheesesteak place yesterday called Lefties. Right down from the stadium. Looks fantastic. If you ever go to a Houston Texans coverage again, we'll have a new lunch spot, because you got that Antone's right there. Hard to put another sandwich spot next to where Antone's is.
It's next to Antone's? Is it right there?
I think it's the shopping center right across the street. Gotcha. When I first saw the building, I thought the burrito place must have gone out of business. But as you see more and more photos of this ridiculous grand opening that was just crowded, not just with him, but judging by the cars in the parking lot, many of his teammates showed up as well. But there's lots of photos of Watson with fans, and nobody's wearing a mask. And I'm like, dude, how is that not breaking all the COVID protocols? I mean, you look at Louis Riddick. Would he be good for the job? I think he would. He is a smart guy. He's great on television. But if you're the committee, are you falling in love with the guy that you've seen on TV? Because there is a reason he's been out of football for a while. Tony Dungy is also on that committee. He was on Dan Patrick's show today.
Now, you're working with the Texans on trying to help them find a general manager. Is that right?
No, don't start that rumor, Dan.
Okay.
Here's what happened.
Okay.
Cal McNair called several people and said, would you talk to me about how to select a general manager and a head coach?
Okay.
And I said, sure, I would love to. Well, all of a sudden that becomes you're on a committee. I am not picking the person. All I'm doing is giving Mr. McNair a formula.
I think he's on a committee. I mean,
like it.
You know,
Ad hoc.
I mean, all Cal has to do is turn on the TV and say, well, there's my guy. He's the first one to interview.
You know, with the recent success of, say, John Lynch, who really didn't have a whole lot of GM experience and just kind of arrived in San Francisco as a football guy. And he put together a pretty good football team. You know, and we look at what's going on with the Texans, and the Jack Easterby thing continues to confound me. I can't figure out what's going on in there. But the consistent thread has been, you know, he's a power seeker, and he certainly understands the nuts and bolts of organizations and finds the weaknesses or finds the slots that he can both, you know, move up inside. He seems to be desperate to move up and become a powerful NFL type. He's not a football guy by any stretch. But and I think that's the key thing is I don't care whether you grew up in a general manager's household and you got to intern with your dad who was a general manager. That's a football guy. You were in it, whether you were taught it or whatever. Just decide to be that, that's a very different animal. And he's been successful in getting himself in a spot to be that guy. But when you hear McNair making that call, obviously, I think he realizes, just as John McClain has told us over and over, that he is not the guy to rely on for football decisions.
No, he's not. And what I think you're seeing, and you bring up Lynch, and, you know, obviously Louis Riddick is interviewing for a job. Troy Aikman has talked about wanting to be a general manager. I'll go back to stuff that I used to talk about with Daryl Johnston during the Commanders time frame. And I know we talked about some of this on the air, and obviously when we would be traveling or out somewhere, just the conversation comes up that Daryl Johnston wants to be in the front office of an NFL team. He likes being the general manager. A lot of these guys think they can do it. And you've got to have two things. You've got to have the football sense, but you also have to have the business sense. But you don't have to have the great detailed business sense like working on all the contracts and all the fine details of the contracts, because you got a gazillion lawyers and accountants that are going to do that. You know, you get in and you figure a lot of that out, but it starts with having a football guy and how do we put together a football team. And I think that's why you're seeing more of the copycat general managers starting to show up in the NFL, because you're seeing it work at a variety of places, as opposed to a suit guy that came up in the front office. You know, they're going to the marketing side now. They're not coming over to the football side. Football guys are staying on that side of the building, and then they bring in the lawyers. I know that, you know, even selecting for the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game. Now, what we're tasked to as that committee is every high school coach can nominate 3 players. So we'll get phone calls. Why didn't my kid make it? Well, first off, your coach didn't nominate your kid. Let's start there. But then the 2 head coaches talk about what kind of offense and defense they want to run. Then you got to go and you got to put that together. You can't put 5 centers on the team or 8 tackles and no guards and no centers. I mean, you've got to be able to put together a football team. And it's interesting because you look at a guy and say, well, we need this guy. He's really good. Well, we've got our tackles, but we need to find a center out of all these players that are nominated. It's difficult, but it goes back to you have to have a football guy in charge that understands what it's like in the locker room, what the players are going through, relatable to players, which I think is very key in today's world, and then the coaches, and as Louis Riddick said in that one soundbite, you got to be able to manage a gazillion relationships.
The nuances of putting together a football team are interesting.
And if you look at it, Louis Riddick, he's on the hot list for a reason, because the Texans are talking to him, the Lions are talking to him, and Jacksonville's now reportedly interested in talking to him. He's a dude that played in the NFL. You mentioned John Lynch coming out of that player. He was one of the last players that was on a Cleveland Browns playoff team playing for Bill Belichick. So he's learned from Bill Belichick as a player. During that time, he was in the Washington front office, and then he was in Philly's front office being a director of pro player personnel under Andy Reid and his tenure with the Eagles up until 2013. So he's got relationships with guys in football, and he also knows football and played football. So he's got so much game knowledge.
He's the guy you want. until he goes somewhere else, and then the next guy.
If he goes somewhere else, I still want him.
I mean, but he is. He's a very attractive candidate with his resume alone. Now let's not also forget that the NFL put in some things that could net you draft picks and some bonuses there, and that's going to factor.
Get draft picks?
There's stuff there, but his resume speaks for itself. But also, you mentioned Washington and Philadelphia. And there's reasons he's been in TV for a long time, but he's been out of football but on TV and still involved in the game enough, like Mike Mayock, like John Gruden. Let's face it. I mean, you look at John Gruden was the hottest thing when Davis brought him back to the Raiders, but you go look at his record. He's won a Super Bowl and he's had some winning teams, but he's had as many losing seasons as now. Before he took the Raiders job, his record was right around 500, wasn't it? But he was on TV. Everybody wanted him. Urban Meyer's on TV. Everybody wants him.
Do you think Mayock's done a good job as a general manager, as a talent acquirer for the Raiders? They've drafted pretty well.
They have, and yes, although the results, you're not really seeing them to a degree yet, but I do think Mayock and Gruden have done a pretty good job. And if anything, the whole Antonio Brown situation, as bizarre as it was, they handled that thing quickly.
The key there, and I think the problem with the Texans is obviously the coach and the management above him just did not work together for whatever reason. And it wasn't just one guy. There were several guys that passed through that general managership, and Brian Gaine brought up by Riddick, but certainly Smith was there and others interim. Whoever comes in, you see that relationship. At least Mayock and Gruden seem to be continually on the same page. That's a good thing for a lot of teams. Sometimes that's a bad thing. Sometimes you need to have a GM that'll tell a coach there's certain things I won't do for you. And we've seen that work as well. I wonder how Riddick would do in that situation because he's a friend to so many.
As a director of player personnel for the Eagles from 2008 to 2013, those are years where they were 9-6, 11-5, 10-6. It was also he found Michael Vick off the scrap heap and gave him his second chance.
That's enough. I saw that 30 for 30. It worked
all
out
the
quite
30 for 30s. I don't remember Lou in there. I thought it was all Andy Reid.
Well, he's no longer, things. The management always gets left out. When we come back, let's talk some Spurs. They took on
sucks.
Yeah, always. It always happens that way. Hey, we come back. Let's talk some Spurs. They lose to the Rockets only a short week before the Spurs begin their regular season in earnest. We saw LaMarcus take some more threes. Are the other guys capable of that? And do the Spurs still need a point guard? We'll talk about it next. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. We're your home for the holidays.
Injuries do happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need to know about the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. From a minor sprain to a compound fracture, they've got you covered. Now, not all injuries require surgery. Dr. David Espinosa treats all non-operative orthopedic injuries, and he does concussion baseline testing. There's no reason to be in pain. Telemedicine services are available through OrthoConnect, so if you're hurting, visit the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
Every Thursday night at 7 after the Blitz, ESPN San Antonio brings you Down for the Count, the premier wrestling and sports entertainment talk show featuring news and interviews from WWE, NXT, and AEW. Down for the Count, only on ESPN San Antonio.
America's Diamond offers our 5-year, 60-month financing program every day of the year. You don't have to wait for a sale to get 5-year financing with credit approval, or wait for a sale to get our guaranteed America's Diamond price, because we treat everyone fairly and with respect every day of the year. For almost 40 years, we have designed and created our extraordinary diamond jewelry right here in San Antonio. When you buy at America's Diamond, your money stays in San Antonio. Our whole company is located here and locally owned. Our kids and grandkids go to school here. All 40 of our coworkers live and shop in San Antonio for everything. Through the years, America's Diamond has supported thousands of wonderful charity events in San Antonio. We're the official jeweler of the San Antonio Spurs and of the University of Texas at San Antonio Athletics. See our television program about diamonds and jewelry tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or see it right now at americasdiamond.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Jason Minix here from the Blitz. You know, in San Antonio, we have some of the hardest water in the country. If your water smells or has an odd taste, call Alamo Water Softeners at 210-274-6122. Alamo Water Softeners is a locally owned, family-run business that offers the highest quality water softeners at affordable prices. Free in-home or phone estimates available. Get clean, soft water by calling Alamo Water Softeners, 210-274-6122, or go to their website, alamowatersofteners.com.
Ho, 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 Santa here for Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters. It's the season of giving, and there is no better gift than a high-performance window tint, remote start car alarm, or car stereo from Mother's Window Tint. I have all three on my 1959 fully restored pickup truck. Ho, 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 I know what you're thinking. I only use the sled and reindeer one day a year. Mother's Window Tint stops more heat and more glare than any other film. You can protect your family with a remote start car alarm like I did. And if you want to make your car go thump, 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 Mother Thump, do like Mrs. Claus did. She went to Mother's Window Tint too. Prices are marked down. Safety precautions in place. Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters. Remember, do it at Mother's and save. Ho, ho, ho!
Santa's Little Helpers are making their way from the North Pole to Twin Peaks. Head down to the Twin Peaks Lodge December 20th to the 24th for their costume party and drink specials that would bring anyone some holiday cheer. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views. It is the Blitz. He's Jason. I'm Rob. Blitz brought to you by the Thompson Law Firm, 210-900-0400. Jason Thompson, a lawyerforus.com. We had a great comedian on the show earlier tonight. He'll be here in San Antonio starting on Friday. He's got 5 shows coming to you from the LOL Comedy Club. Paul Virzi is his name. You want to go? 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Got a pair of tickets for you for caller number 3. This is for the guys that hang on till the bitter end. The caller number 3 is going to go check out Paul Virzi this weekend. There's going to be a great bunch of shows going on at LOL. We're about to head into the sunset, and we got coaches' shows headed your direction. Chris Beard of Texas Tech, Mac McGlung's head coach, and Buzz William, he of the Aggies, after a nice little win yesterday, will be breaking for their shows tonight. Don't forget we're your home for both Tech and Aggie basketball all season long, brought to you by Ewald Kubota. Jason, as we head into an evening with no football per se, it's a weird day when we don't have football to watch. We've had several guys hold all day long as far as the CFP Final Four. I don't believe, as I sit today, that Ohio State will fall, that Texas A&M will sit. I think the Cincinnati types and the Iowa State sides, we're all going to cry. But at the end of the day, the CFP, the Final Four, is the Final Four.
I think this weekend is going to play big. Ohio State needs to do to Northwestern what the great Arizona State Sun Devils did to Kevin Sumlin and those Wildcats over the weekend, 70-7. You do that, you're going in. A&M needs to have a good, solid win on Saturday. I think if Ohio State is fairly close, and A&M is dominant, they're going to get in. The committee has said too many times the number of games matter. Now, they said that early, and they've left Ohio State up there because of the eye test. But when you look at that eye test and look closer down at one of those bottom lines, you realize, well, who has Ohio State really played? I mean, they've been impressive against imagine putting Judson in, one of the Valley districts. Well, yeah, it's almost like they're a Valley team. We'll have Valley Week coming up. Every year in high school football, you get the San Benitos that are 11-0, 12-0, scoring 50 points a game. They meet a San Antonio school and it's over, right? Maybe they look at Ohio State that way.
Let's hope. Dabo's certainly digging in there. Well, there's something that's in play here. There's that. It's not a bomb cyclone, it's a nor'easter that's hitting the East Coast right now. I wonder if weather's going to come into play for a couple of these games, like the Big Ten Championship. I wonder if they're going to do it in snow. Let's hope they do.
Well, I mean, it's a big part of it. I mean, what are they saying? 2 feet of snow. It's a lot of snow.
Is that so? That's different than a bomb cyclone. We get those. No, we don't get those. They get those. They get nor'easters and bomb cyclones. We get 60 degrees and sun. That's what we get in the beautiful South Texas.
With a little bit of wind.
Just enough to keep us on our toes. Hey, we're about to head into the sunset. Coach Buzz and Coach Beard are going to be bringing you the knowledge. And don't forget, Andrew Monaco's that co-host there of the Buzz Williams Show. We got a lot of fun headed your way tomorrow. Hey, brave it well. Thanks for hanging with us. It's been the Blitz.
Jason and Rob here. You know we both love to grill, and you do. Grilling with the Blitz every Thursday at 6, brought to you by Tri-County Meat Market.